All right, what's up, guys? Yeah, I just felt like going live today to make some cold calls. So let me get up for the Instagrammers, and that's probably too many of them. I'll create live video. Let's go public next. Grab that stream key. Throw it over there. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here we go.
People have real world experience with them.
Oh, there's some phenoms today.
Yeah. Their first one, you go into it all glazed eyed and like, wow, look at the material. Look at this pillow. The TV's come up. And the second
Good video I
one,
had with Jimmy's
"Tell
World
me about
last week.
this valve on a hydraulic thing, because it stranded us for 3 days in Des Moines, Iowa in February." Hello and welcome. My name's Tom Lelio. You're at the Jet Life Podcast. I'm your ultimate jet guy. Today we're pulling back the curtain on aviation with Jimmy from Jimmy's World. Jimmy, thanks so much.
Hey, Toby.
For being here, man. Thanks
What's up,
so much
guys?
for inviting me over. I'm excited. So I've seen your
Proud
channel.
to hit some calls.
And you're not the typical jet buyer that I'm working with. But we're here today in this beautiful jet that you're looking at. Maybe we could do something here. Talk about this specific jet. I'd love to just hear more about your story.
That's my big question.
We'll talk a little bit about some of the buys that you've made over the few years and what we can learn from them as aspiring jet brokers or jet buyers ourselves. Well, thank you for that. And again, the opportunity to come check this thing out is fantastic. It is amazing. So my story, I was not into aviation until about 4 years ago. Oh, me too. Okay. Yeah. So I got into aviation because I had to travel from Tampa to Jacksonville once a month, and that drive is terrible. Yes. It's like me going from Sarasota to Orlando today. Yeah. Terrible. Yes. And a buddy of mine, he just said, well, instead of driving the 4 hours through all the speed traps right there, why don't you just get a little airplane and fly? It's only an hour flight in a little GA airplane. I'm like, well, that's a lot better. So that's what I did. I bought an airplane before I'd ever even been in a small GA airplane, and then got all my flying lessons, my license and stuff like that in 5 months back in 2020 when the whole world was shut down, gas was cheap, and the sky was mine. Yeah. And really, I guess the only way you
All
could
right.
travel would
That's
be
one
on
down.
like this at that time because all the airlines were.
Hey, Ryan, what's going on, man? Good to see you, dude.
As a first-time buyer, not having any, did you use a broker or just learn on your own?
Won't let me
Well,
like
a buddy of
respond
mine
to it,
gave
but
me, just
what's up, Ryan?
a cheat sheet. He said, you want to find an airplane with no damage history, all the logbooks from new, and it needed to have less than mid-time hours on the engine and the propeller and the critical components, and it needed to be current flying. And for me, my training needs, it needed to
Excuse me.
be one of these 3 make and models, and have at least this level of.
All right, this one's in Canada. We'll leave that one alone.
Still had a guide to work through it. Oh, yeah, Lord, yeah. Okay. I would have no idea what. Yeah, because the risk of buying the wrong one is a catastrophic financial decision. So the old saying is, you buy an engine, you get an airplane for free. Yeah, I like that. in airplane world, the most expensive part, I guess,
There you
even
go.
on jets like this,
On the
is
residence
the
number.
most expensive part. So buying a good engine and then figuring out what airplane will go behind that engine is really, for me, what I look for. And when I go to look at all my airplanes, whichever ones I'm considering buying, the first thing I look at is corrosion. I mean, well, it has to pass the first test filter. Yep. Oh, okay. What's the logbook history? What's the damage history?
Hey, Ian, what's up, man? Miss you guys. Yeah, we're just making some cold calls today. Happy to answer any questions everybody's out there. Trying to make a phone call if somebody else was using my phone number.
Physically, what I'm looking for is
corrosion is number one. You can't fix a lot of that stuff.
No.
Or if you do fix it, it is massively time consuming.
Come on.
Because an engine is just
There it is.
expensive, but you can pull it off, put another one on. You get corrosion issues, that's a whole different deal. I mean, you're talking major intrusive surgery and all kinds of stuff. So the first thing I look at is corrosion and rust, that kind of thing. And then the next thing is the engine. So
You guys hear that voice?
criticalness.
You guys
So
hear it?
corrosion,
I hate the.
you can't fix that a lot of times. So you just want to find it, what it is. And then go to the engine, because that's really what you're buying. And then from there, then go to the goodies, the interior, the avionics, some of that stuff. Because a lot of that you can upgrade and personalize and things like that. And yeah, it's expensive, but
Brazil.
you can
I'll do
control
the Phenom
that.
100s.
How many planes do you think you've looked at over the past 3-4 years?
Looked at like thousands.
Okay.
I have bought and I've had in my possession 14 airplanes in 4 years.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of what I'm getting at is
It's gonna tell a joke today. Let's find out.
Not everybody has the time, energy, or expertise. You obviously had to learn the expertise, but how much time, like just to get to the first test? I mean, you're spending a lot of time looking into when you have a project, when you're like, okay, it's time for our next project. That's a lot of hours that you're putting into it.
Yeah. For me, I have the luxury. This is all I do.
Right. Well, that's just it. And that's why brokers and or someone in a position that this is all they do.
Now, what I will say is I've sold a couple of airplanes, and I've found more value in a broker selling the airplane because of all the
Can you guys hear that?
when
When leaving a voicemail right now, and if I
phone calls, and you're only
when I hit mute,
gonna
it's
close
you
one
can't hear it,
person.
right? It cuts off.
You have to be on the other side of all that research to get to that one person that's actually going to close. And for me to pay the broker fee 6, 8, 4, whatever it changes based on the price level and stuff like that. So whatever that fee is, it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
Just so I don't have to deal with all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Of all the emails, all the phone. Then they want to come out and inspect it. Oh, and then they're just gonna, I gotta go talk to my wife, and I gotta. Oh my gosh, are you going to buy it or not?
Yes.
For me, and I'm moving on to my next acquisition. So for the selling part, I actually use brokers and people to sell it on those few that I actually sell.
Right.
And then that
Ian,
way it's worth
contact
the gold,
potential
just so I don't
clients
have
comes
to
from
deal
a
with all
Any crazy buyer stories where you're just like,
a software called JetNet Evolution.
Well, one, and it was immediately after that when I decided to start using a broker. The guy almost killed himself and his son twice in the same day.
test flight?
Yeah. Well, they already paid for the airplane.
Oh.
And it was trying to. How can I share
Let's
the
see if
story
this is
without
working.
giving away too much?
I mean, the lawsuit still.
No. There was never any lawsuit.
Great question, Ian.
But
We get our
big airplane pilot,
all this from
pilot,
a
that hasn't been in a
buying a very low power general aviation airplane. The airport it was on, I made a video about it, and I'm so glad that it kept as a video, and everything turned out okay. So spoiler alert, nobody got seriously injured or died or anything. But it was a
all
very
right. Let's
soft
see what's
field,
next.
short, underpowered airplane on a very hot day with this guy that said he knew all this stuff. He had the
Oh, Jimmy, he's a good storyteller.
It's a puny little airplane. This is
Muhammad,
no problem. And I'm
government
like,
of Pakistan. Dang.
you're gonna kill yourself.
All right.
And I told him very specifically, when you get out here, you have to go touch the bushes on this side. One notch of flaps in. You got to put your feet on the brakes.
April
run
goes
that
by
thing up
Steve.
to 10 to let all the powers and
April
everything go up.
does not
And
need
then
to
you
sell
let go
by.
the brakes at full power and you're full aft on the yoke to get in a ground effect as soon as you can. Because
Let's
it's
see how
really
this goes.
soft, sandy grass on where it was. So it was real soft. And it was only like 2,000-foot runway.
Okay.
And there was trees at the other end, right?
Yeah.
And so, because I've landed in there a bunch of times in this airplane, so I knew the technique of how to do it. And I knew the airplane. Well, he didn't. And they taxi out, and it's him and his son, and they're, a little heavier people. So again, it's an anemic airplane to begin with. So we already know performance is lacking. So they get out there. They didn't even go to the end of the runway, and they just turn and power up. And I'm like, no. and I can't do anything but watch.
Yeah.
And I'm just going in my head. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be on a different YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. And thankfully, they got midway down the runway and I heard the power stop. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Y'all hear me when I'm talking?
And
Like,
then he comes back in and he's like, this airplane is defective and this and that. And I'm like, no, you didn't fly it at all. Like I told you how to fly the thing. And so he's like, I'm not done. I'm like, fine. I'll meet you at a 4,000 foot paved runway and it's right over there. Take my car. You don't fly this out of here. I was like, hop out. And I hopped in it with him watching, and I think his son was with me. Whoa, did it power up? Yep, okay, pull back, whom, 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 and up and off. Off we went, full lap in the pattern. Everything was working fine. Come back and I landed, and I'm like, nothing's wrong with this airplane. And he's like, well, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll fly it over to this bigger airport so that you have a lot more air room, so that you can be all cocky and not be as skilled. Well, he did the same thing at the other airport. He got up and I'm like, you have to hold it and wait because it's an anemic airplane. It takes a while for the power to build on this thing. It's not a high powered airplane. And he gets there, whoom, and again, it's like 94 degrees, right? So it's really hot. And he's pitching up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's way too slow. I was waiting, and he got up, barely cleared the trees. And I'm just like, I'm waiting for the wing to drop and it to stall spin. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. And he turned north and got out of the area. And I thought it was over at that point. He came back and landed. And he's like, yeah, there's something is broken on this airplane. And I'm like, I'm going to wire your money back.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. I was like, I don't want to read about you in the news in a week when you kill yourself and your son. Because clearly you're not taking any information that people are trying to give you. You're not the right person for this airplane.
Yeah,
This is not the right airplane for you.
that's a great point.
So I'm like, here's your money back. Go buy. Right. So I mean, that was the scariest time that I've ever had. And what I realized after that was to vet and filter the buyer, mostly because of my liability on it on the other end as a general aviation. So I had an opportunity to buy a really fantastic Lancer. It's a fast two-seater airplane, really sporty airplane. And it was donated to a museum, and just beautiful airplane. And I went there with the intention of buying it. I paid for it, all that. And then I found the logbooks, and inside the folder was a statement that said never to fly or to sell. So the museum, after we found the paperwork, they weren't actually allowed to sell it.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't discover that until the video had already posted, and the son of the person who donated it got a hold of me.
Oh.
And he said, that's my fantastic airplane. I'd love to see it in the air again, but I'm curious how you were able to get it to fly. And I'm like, you just kind of fly it. You're registered. And he's like, no, we specifically told the museum they were not allowed to do that because we were afraid of liability down the road. Because if somebody crashes that airplane, lawyers are lawyers. They're going to find whoever is the richest person in line that they can get some money out of. And for me, that becomes, because it's Jimmy's World and because of that, and that was the reason I decided not to sell my silver Bullet, the 310, that polished 310. It's a fantastic airplane, but I had to have a layer of protection. So I took it to the #1 twin Cessna shop in the world. And unfortunately, they did find quite a few things, but not any major, somebody was going to die kind of things.
No.
But it was enough where I was not comfortable selling it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not selling it because I don't want to, even 10 years, 3 owners from now, if that plane crashes and kills somebody, that was a Jimmy's World airplane.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And since I deal with a lot of older aircraft from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, I mean, I've sold planes that have belonged to astronauts, celebrities, and that sort of a thing. And, it's important to realize what, that line, we as brokers try to put as much paperwork in front of owners to kind of sever that. But like you said, it's a litigious society, but at least working with a professional, you're aware of those landmines and how you want to navigate them.
Yep.
So you're looking to buy stuff. What's what's you mentioned like these are kind of the main filters that you go through. What's kind of like what are you looking for? Are you looking for stuff that's fixable? Are you looking for stuff that just has an interesting story? Are you looking like what's kind of going through your mind when you're thinking about your next project?
Each mission is different. When I bought the 421, the mission for that, so it's twin Cessna pressurized cabin class. 420. I mean, the best of the best type of piston twin airplane.
Golden Eagle.
The Golden Eagle, and it takes a gold pile of gold to keep them flying because you get into all the systems and things like that. It gets expensive. With that airplane, the mission for that airplane is to fly myself, my crew, and my family around to.
All right, that was a great call. Sorry about this, guy. So I was on the line with somebody, and I should have. Do I have on here? Sometimes I do. Yeah, on the phone. Yeah, so I have. Yeah, I should have put that up there. But yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. I just had a call with somebody, Phenom 100 owner, and really nice guy. Didn't hang up, and that's the key. He wasn't looking to sell, not interested in selling, but he didn't like hang up and like, hey, it's time to go. So it's up to me at that point to keep his attention and to see like, okay, what can we go from here? And so we talked about an upgrade. What does he like? What doesn't he like about the Phenom? I mean, I could definitely do better. I was a little off on my my role plan. I got to do better for sure. But great. And at the end, I asked him, hey, can I tell you a dad joke? It's Friday, let's have some fun. So that's always a good time. A couple great questions in the comments. I hope I can get to them in time. So, Ben's asking, do you prospect clients in social media? Sometimes, what I find is that the clients on social media, they're not always the most qualified, but there are people that reach out. I'm like, hey, Tom, can you get me a quote on a jet or something like that? And I will do that from time to time. Were you ever scared of making cold calls? Yeah, like today. That's why I get an audience. It kind of pumps me up to go make phone calls. But to be honest, Naveed, I would say that in the beginning I was a little nervous, but not scared. I was more scared of letting my family down. That's what it comes down to. So pick your fear. It's hard to make a cold call. It's also hard to come home and look your kids in the eye and be like, I didn't do my best because I was too afraid to pick up the phone. Choose your hard. That's how I look at it. And audio's low. Ben, no worries. The audio should be low on the video because I actually hear the audio on the video. So I have to like kind of keep that low. So that's why the audio is low because so I can hear. All right, let's go on to the next guy.
Film the other videos.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this one was right here in my backyard, so I just drove here this morning. But that airplane, the mission for that one is to fly much further, possibly going.
And next, I'm going to make a note here.
I knew I was not going to find an airplane I had to fix up. So that was an airplane I wanted to make darn sure had good records.
Yeah.
I wanted to make darn sure.
So instead of stopping what I'm doing and send the market report right away, I'm going to batch that for when I'm done with making phone calls because I don't want to lose momentum right now.
The avionics, basically that airplane needs to be 100% dialed and have a really good pedigree and background, or else I'm not taking the risk of putting my family in it, putting myself traveling long distances and stuff like that. Because I'm not buying that airplane to create content.
Who had this before this guy?
Yes, we create a little bit of content with it, but it's really it's to be used for another mission. So the requirements for that airplane were much different than say trading two broken Porsches.
Yeah,
for
let's give it a shot.
in the back corner of a hangar, right? Very different missions.
All right, so the phone is ringing right now. You guys hear it ringing, and now I'm going to mute.
Over the years, like to find.
Oh yeah.
Skills.
Yeah.
And now I'm unmuted, so you might hear me hear them.
One is, did it have a lot of owners?
Okay, what does that tell you?
That tells you don't touch that airplane.
Okay.
A lot of owners means a lot of different people have worked on it.
Yeah.
They've had different expectations for it.
Yeah.
Why were there so many owners? That's the biggest one. Like, what's wrong with this airplane? That so many people are going to own this thing.
Yeah.
And so it's the story. It tells me everything I need to know about it. If you know the past, you'll have a good idea of the future.
Okay.
So if there's an airplane that
Sean, Tom with Jet Life Aero. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to reach out, see how things are going with Juliet Hotel. I know it was a recent purchase. Want to see if you guys are ready to make an upgrade in this fourth quarter. If I can bring you value and tell you what's going on in the market, I would love to connect with you. Again, my name is Tom, Jet Life Aero, 941-241-2682. Again, 941-241-2682. Have a great day.
as a mechanic,
Oh, I have another idea. I can do.
It's the worst car in the parking lot.
Can do.
It is.
It's full of duct tape.
If they
How would
say,
I
"Hey,
bring in
why
another
own
audio
this
source?
airplane?" Just move on to the next airplane because it's either a
All right. Would an
they put it
aircraft
because they fix it
mechanic
because they have the skills and knowledge to do that, or
be a good
they
transition
have
to
the
a
skill
jet
and get the money
broker?
out of it to sell it to somebody that
If you're talking
knows
about becoming a mechanic first and then becoming a broker, like, yeah,
very
that's cool,
best
man. Like, go
airplane
for it. I wouldn't necessarily say that you should do that. If you want to be a broker, let's dive in and be a broker. But
Oh my
if you're
gosh,
like
yeah. So
you
spin
have an
that
opportunity to
out.
become
It's
a
gonna forever be spinning
mechanic
out
first and then
every
sell jets, like, yeah, it's
choice
good
that you
experience,
want.
but
I spin
I don't think
today
mechanics necessarily make better
GM,
brokers.
the
I think
best twin shop in
just
the
become a
world.
professional jet broker if
And I
that's the
said,
if
they
that's the
still
goal.
have it. And I said,
First,
it's 10
well,
hours on that
how
airplane
was your
just
first
to find
cold
the
call when you
skills that
started
I
in your business? My
need
first
just to look
cold
for
call
stuff.
was
And
a
when I did it, I
disaster.
didn't want the
What I
hourly
mean
rate.
by that is
Oh yeah.
my
I
first
want
cold
this
call.
thing. They're ready
My
to go.
my my
The
um.
airplane needs
Let me
to
pull
be
this off.
there.
Was my first first cold call. My first cold call was a disaster because my manager specifically said to me, "Hey Tom, do not talk about the jet." He was trying to be like, cool and whatever when you made the phone. Like, don't talk about the jet. Just like make a relationship, man. Like, just kind of hang out with them. And I'm like, all right, how do I not do that? Like, I'm very, just tell me what to do. And he said, don't talk about the jet. So the phone rang and I just kind of froze. I was like, like I don't know what to do. And um, he finally answered. I was like, "Hi, my name is Tom. Do you want to sell your jet?" He's like, "Nope," and he hung up, and it was a complete wreck. So the good news is I can only go up from there, and that's what kind of encouraged me to move forward. And like I said to Navit, you pick your scared, pick your hard. It's hard to pick up the phone and call a total stranger. It's also hard to come home, look at yourself in the mirror, and be like, "I could have done better." Or look at your kids in the mirror and look at your kids and say, "I could have done better, but I didn't because I was afraid to pick up the phone." So choose your hard. This message today.
So I'll deal with flying commercial. I wish I could fly in something like this, but I'll deal with flying commercial and that stuff just so that I don't have to worry about the downtime and getting there, doing a pre-flight and being like, oh, this thing is not there. So now I have to scramble for my plans to be changed on how to get there.
Yeah. Does low airframe? Do you like low airframe time compared to the rest of the fleet?
No, I don't.
Okay, because some people are like, oh, my plane's only got 3,000 hours. Everybody else is.
You gotta have it be
All right,
used
what else we
now.
got?
So there's a sweet
Who's
spot,
next?
right? So for me,
All right, so it sounds like you guys can't hear the phone call, so that's good. That's good for me. So I don't have to mute stuff.
I don't want a high time, and I sure as heck don't want the one that was used for training.
Okay.
So definitely not any of that. I want one.
Hey, I'm Sankar. What's up, man?
They knew it's expensive. They spent
Hard
money on it,
secretary. She's not
but they didn't
interested.
scream and cry about it. So
Melissa is
doctors,
not interested.
attorneys,
Oh, is this the one where
to do business owners and business owners?
Anne Marie?
They're probably going to be piloting it themselves.
All right, Anne Marie.
Are they an experienced pilot?
Anne
Was
Marie.
this their
Okay, cool.
first
Let's
twin
see.
engine
This is
airplane?
supposed to be a hard gatekeeper, so let's see how this
Find out
goes.
pilots who flew the airplane.
Yeah.
Were they a pilot for hire? Because ironically, I learned that the pilots for hire, they treat it like a rental. So they're running the engines a little bit harder than what probably an owner would run them at.
Yes.
So for that airplane, they'll probably run them at 75% power because the owner wants to get there, and the pilot doesn't care. It's not his bill that he has to pay.
All right, here we
The
go.
owner's probably running it at 55% power.
Yeah.
Taking it easy, not putting a significant amount of stress on anything because they got to pay the money to fix it. So it's the story. I try to learn as much about the airplane, the history, the pilots, the owners. Where was it? Was it someplace in the Bahamas a lot? That's to look for stuff. Was it in the Northeast or something like that? You're just looking for these places where moisture, humidity, salt,
I have a note.
kind of stuff Is it parked inside, outside?
Oh, what I love what you're bringing to the conversation, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Is that you're bringing an eye of critical thinking to the transaction. You know, a lot of people just kind of see it as going like car shopping, like autotrader.com, or house shopping. Like it's just like one thing. You can kind of wrap your head around it, but planes, not a lot of people have real world experience with them on a regular basis.
On their second one, they do.
Yeah.
Their first one, you go into it all glazed eyed, like, wow, look at the material. Look at this pillow.
The TV.
The TV's come up. And the second one, they're like, all right, tell me about this valve on a hydraulic thing, because it stranded us for 3 days in Des Moines, Iowa in February.
It cost
You know,
$100 and it's been spinning.
yeah. But then, you know, for the company and everything, it was just a huge debacle. So yeah, their second airplane, they know what to ask for.
Yeah.
And you know, I've had 14, and you know, now granted, yes, my channel, you know, I get a lot of them because they're so terrible.
Yeah.
That they make really good content.
Yeah, which is why I called
Yeah.
here.
I mean,
which is why you're here today.
the first airplane I did was weeds. I mean, six foot tall weeds, and it was a Bonanza that had been sitting there for at least 20 years in the bushes that of this airport that had moved and changed. It was just a disaster. You could take your hand and put through the wing. That's how corroded all the control.
What you do with it?
We were just trying to get it started. I put fuel in it and it's poured out all over the ground because it just went right through. The bladders were toast. I ended up taking a fuel jug, strapping it to the wing with a fuel line that went directly to the engine, and a battery that I connected, and had to sit the battery in the cockpit with me with a set of jumper cables to get this thing started. But it eventually started up. I was shocked. But you know, that one we knew was never going to fly, right? And then all the way to the other end of the spectrum with the 421.
Gotcha.
So that's my channel. So each airplane is very unique, but for me, it truly is about the story.
Yeah.
The Elvis jet. I mean, I bought Elvis Presley's private jet, the kind of redheaded stepchild of the Elvis fleet, right?
Yeah.
But it was all about the story,
Yeah.
and it was about the ownership history, and I knew what we were going to do with it before I ever bought it. So I had a plan for it the whole time there, and it's turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
We're actually taking it to the Concours d'Elegance in Hilton Head, South Carolina in November. We've been invited to the Concours d'Elegance, like the most pinnacle, uppity, pinky up people. Like, we're talking Ferrari GTO, multi-million-dollar Ferrari GTOs. And they're like, we love the Elvis jet. Can you bring it? And I'm, all right, so I'm the comic relief of the party, I guess. I get it. That's fine. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Okay, that was a good one. That was a lot of fun. I gotta save that one.
About a year ago, and they were looking at
So I gotta save this. I'm gonna find the recording of this. This is a great example. I need to send that to people. So this is a secretary that was not having it. There's even notes in our CRM that says, "I left a message with the secretary. I have a feeling she's not going to do it. Hard secretary. She's not interested." And so, hold on. Let me pull this up for you guys because I really want to share this. I'll share it another time. But basically, what it came down to is the secretary was just like not having it, and I was leaning on her a little bit. I was like, "Listen, like I'm happy to leave a message with you, not a problem." She's like, "Okay." And I said to her, "Well, listen, you know, I'd like to send her some more information. Can I send you an email or send her an email with it?" And she's like, "Well, if she's interested, she'll give you a call." And I said, "Well, listen, I'm with you 100%, but I don't know if she's actually going to be interested or not unless I can get her information. If she just has my name and phone number, she's probably not going to be interested. Like, what's another way that I can get a hold of her?" And she's like, "Okay, you can send it to my email address." So that's the kind of stuff that you gotta train. Like, if we're not training that, then it's not going to work. It's you're going to give up. You're like, "Okay, I'll just leave a message." And of course, she's not going to call you back. She doesn't know anything about you. She's like, "This random guy named Tom from Jet Life Aero, he's selling life insurance." But no, that's not what we're doing. So now I have a chance to send the secretary like a market report, and I got some contact information. So, and I got to tell her a joke at the end. She cracked up. So hopefully now I can call back, and actually I got to put this in my notes. Told her asphalt dad joke made her laugh. So I was like, "Hey, listen, it's Friday. Let me tell you a dad joke," and they're liking it. They're liking it. So this is good. Okay, let's see what we got. We got some questions going on. Thanks so much. I'm so glad you guys are here. This is getting to be fun. Let's see. Okay. If you're already an aircraft, would it be a good transition? Yes, yes, Ben, it would be, as long as you don't lose the forest despite the trees. So the thing with aircraft mechanics is that you know so much about it. Sometimes you talk past the sale, you get too into the weeds, and you don't focus on just getting the job done and serving the client. So as long as you don't get hung up on that, it's why pilots, mechanics, sometimes they have a hard time with jet brokers because, you know, and I'll just be honest, like sometimes mechanics, the reason they became mechanics is so they could just hang out with machines. They're not great people. They just enjoy being alone. They don't like other people telling them what to do, and even if it doesn't make sense. So like an owner might tell you to do something that makes absolutely no sense to a mechanic, mechanic brain, because it's very much like, well, if I turn this screw, it does this and it fixes the problem. Well, you have to have like you be open to different ways to fixing problems when you're working with individuals, especially in sales. So as long as you can get over that kind of stuff, yeah, I mean, a background in aviation maintenance is great, but it's not like I would be happy. I'm confident going against brokers that are like, I used to be a mechanic for the past 30 years. Great. How many jets have you sold? Have you sold close to 100 jets? So that's what I would look at. Charter plane and demit. I have no idea. I gotta get into this Asian market. So if somebody's like into becoming a broker in Asia, like hit me up. Let's do this. Growing demand. However, the product's not to the market. Yeah. Moreover, the biggest issue is that it is highly unorganized. Yes, the average fleet age is 20 years. Yeah, so it's coming. It's coming. It's gonna pop at some point. Supply demand deficient 30%. So there's strong demand, but we need a player in India that's gonna set themselves apart. So maybe that's you guys. Let's see. Okay, next, so you can tell some more dad jokes. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay. This is Elise. Okay, we're gonna just ignore that one. Let me check this down. 5 calls down. 5 calls in, I don't know how long we've been streaming for. 30 minutes. That's not good. I am slow. Talk to John, not the decision maker. Try again later. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay. John Duggar's running for that. Okay, these guys have a broker already. But let's give them a buzz. You never know. Maybe sometimes the broker does something bad, or they're interested in selling it, and then I can just talk to the broker about it. I don't know. Let's find out. I'll give you guys something to watch.
Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I didn't know this on your radar. We got it at auction. It was great. You got a deal of a lifetime. Yeah. We only paid 50 grand for this thing. Right, exactly. What? And then it got to the point where but when we bought it and brought it back, we tried to run it up. We figured this is going to cost way too much for us to operate. Yeah.
John, Tom with Jet Life Aero. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. I know you get these calls all the time on 522 Echo Papa. I'm not here to waste your time, just hoping to catch you at the right time. We've spoken before. I know you primarily work with John Duggar, which is all good. Just looking for an on-market or off-market Phenom 100. Would love to connect with you or John if that's something that you guys are looking to do in the fourth quarter. We are actively looking for more inventory to move in these final days of 2024. So if that's a good fit that spikes your interest, give me a call at your convenience, 941-241-2682. Have a great day. Oh, y'all heard that. Oops. Yeah. All right. Why is being a jet broker not talked about? I would say the main reason why being a jet broker is not talked about is a couple things. One, people are just staying in their lane, right? They're finding a good thing, and they don't have time to tell people about, talk about it. They just, they're just kind of doing their thing, and the second thing is sometimes people just aren't very good at talking about things, especially, Gen X people, boomers, if you will. I mean, the brokers that have been doing this for 20, 30 years, like they found their niche, they're doing their thing, they're taking care of their family. they're good, but for me, I enjoy talking about stuff. I enjoy pulling back the curtain on private aviation, and so we're kind of blazing a trail here, if you will, to help people get into aviation. So I think it's not talked about because some people don't want everybody in; they want to keep it a secret. I think that's a big thing. And the other reason would be they're not interested or super super interested in talking about it. How can a charter broker get new process? Oh, that is if I knew that, I'd be making a lot of money. That I looked into being a charter broker, but to be honest, it was I couldn't find a way to get new prospects. Um, so with JetNet, I know all the owners, and so I can call them and try to find inventory for myself. Um, with with chartering, you can pay into programs like Avinode or Charter Hub, and when somebody, it's like Zillow when you inquire on a house, like eh, eh, or not Zillow, it's like Travelocity or something. Like you inquire on a trip, and then a bunch of people, like car insurance. If you go to a generic car insurance website and you just want the lowest, bid, then you get a call from like 50 different, car insurance people to give you bids. That's the way that chartering works. Is that when you put in a thing for charter, excuse me, you just get a bunch of charter brokers calling you. So you're one of 50 other charter brokers trying to contact this person. So it's a really tough business. It's a lot of volume, but you can also pick up a paycheck quicker than the sales cycle is shorter than with jets. So if you can handle all that volume, then that's usually how people have to do it. Does charter planes Pruti, you'll have to rephrase that. I'm not quite sure what we're asking here. And we got to move on to our next call. Da-da-da-da-da. This one's in Brazil, Rapid City, South Dakota. Okay, left message and number with secretary. Adam was in a meeting. We'll call him back if he doesn't call by close of business. He just bought it, but left the message anyway. Secretary, he just bought the plane station trip. It was all right. So now I got so this is the nice thing about when you're working with the brokers. You got all these notes. People have been calling this guy for the past year from our company, and so we got some notes on this. So let's see what we got. Now, just tell me, you guys ringing. You don't hear the other people on the other line, correct? It is a great day, Michelle. Happy Friday. Michelle, my name is Tom with Jet Life Air. I'm trying to get a hold of Adam if he's available. Oh, I would really appreciate that, Michelle. Thank you very much. Yeah, so you take messages or is there a voicemail for him? Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Michelle, can you please let him know that Tom called from Jet Life Aero, AERO, and the call is regarding 390 Tango Papa, and he can call me back at 941 241 2682. And I'd really love to yeah, 262. I'd really love for him to be able to look at some information. Is there an email for yourself or another assistant that I could send and it could be forwarded to him? Okay. And how how do you spell Michelle? Michelle? Okay, cool. Perfect. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, Michelle, it is a great day. Thank you so much. Just out of curiosity, I'd love to make your day a little bit brighter. Would you like to hear a dad joke? Okay, great. That's awesome. So Michelle, I'm a pilot. I haven't spent much time in the plane, about 100 hours or so. And the last time I flew with my wife, we had a little bit of a rough landing. I'm kind of a new pilot or whatever. And she just kind of turns to me. She's like, Tom, what the heck was up with that landing? I said, Hun, it wasn't my fault. It was the asphalt. I'm 3 for 3 so far today, so I'm pretty pumped about that. It's Friday. Exactly. It's a great day. Thank you, Michelle. Bye-bye. All right. So just to be clear, you guys cannot hear the other person on the other line. Is that right? Because I really want to make sure I'm not like streaming people's like conversations. Um, that would be not cool. So can y'all tell me in the chat? Josie, what's up? Oh, good to see you. Good. Can't hear. All right. So all you hear is me talking. That's cool. That's cool. All right. I appreciate that. Josie, I'm loving. I feel like I should show you some moves, right? Because you're like you're killing it on your social. Man. Josie, when are you gonna come sell jets? Come on, this is so much more fun than I mean, I don't know if it's more fun. You probably have a lot. It looks like you have a lot of fun. Um, let's see. This guy's name is Mike. He's been out of the country. Ashley is the secretary. Mike's not in. Oh, this one's his line. Ooh, I like this. 2268. We'll call back, but I don't hear everybody close. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's roll. Let's roll, baby. How to charge? Okay, real quick, some quick questions. Okay, could you sell jets internationally? Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. It's pretty much the same process. We'll teach you how to do it, and then each country has their own little, import export, qualifications. But we can definitely do it. How do charter planes hire pilots? Do they hire for specific? If you're a charter operator, you have pilots on salary. If you're just an owner of a plane and you need a trip, you can do it either contract pilots trip by trip until you find someone and pay them full time, or just if you don't fly that much, just call the same guy every time. But if it's a charter operator, they have salary pilots. Yeah, exactly, Navi. Yep. I'll wait in the next dance video. Oh, Josie. My kids are like learning these TikTok dances. I should probably just do one with them. All right, let's see. Mr. Michael. Say. I'm gonna mute me. Milda, what's up? Per dude, just about 100. I think we got cut off. Yeah, sometimes I have to mute. Oh, I keep this going.
Fired up the APU in the back and everything. I was like, and it didn't catch on fire, nothing. Like a boring video, if I'm honest with you. Well, this is not the typical Jimmy's World video where we have to.
Yeah, sorry, Milda. It's a process. I got a lot of stuff on my screen right now. Okay, so let's call down. Milda, I thought you were on a social media fast or something like that. You were like resetting so you can come back and like crush it. I don't know. You're always doing such like really cool stuff. Sent Mark over to Ben at OmniJet. What? We sent in this management company. All right, this guy might be a little bit of a challenge. Let's see how we do. It's all about confidence. It's all about slowing things down. People get aggressive. So listen, I'm with you. 100%. Happy Friday, man. Positive vibe.
Each airplane is kind of its own unique thing, right? It's got its own special
Sean, Tom with Jet Life Aero. Good afternoon, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I know you probably get these calls all the time regarding 400 kilo Fox. I'm sorry, Quebec Fox. I'm not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. If I happen to be catching you at the right time, I'd love to provide you with some value. Let you know what the Phenom 100 market is doing. what's available, what the valuation might be worth. If I could show you a valuation of of Quebec Fox that it's worth more than you think it is, would you give me 5 minutes of your time? If so, give me a call 941-241-2682. Again, the number is 941-241-2682. Have a great day. Happy Friday. Woo! All right.
So I
We're
think really it's
moving,
just about education.
moving.
And what for me, and I spent
Comments now.
the better
Oh,
part
how
of
many
a
plays have I sold? About
a
100.
year and a
About
half
100.
just trying to find the
I should get the
421.
real number because I've been saying
What
100
I've
for
learned now, this is only
a
really
while
my
now.
first
So
bout, and
like,
I've
it's
made
gotta
a
be,
lot of
it's gotta be up
mistakes. So
there.
a lot of this is expensive education.
Definitely 70, definitely 80. Asked to stop calling.
I do all my
Okay.
research for what I need to do, what I need to find, and then I put
Okay.
my numbers
Okay. Well, we're
in,
gonna honor
I
that.
find it,
Honor
I know
that.
where my numbers at, and then I go searching. And I have a saying that
I
says,
see
if
a
it's not a
photo
heck
that I
yes,
like.
it's a no. And for me, yeah. So I'm like, it needs to meet all these plus. So these are my basics, and I do not
I like
negotiate on those
this
things that it
vibe.
needs to meet. And that's just part of it. Sometimes, I mean, that first airplane, and that was when the
Send this
market
to
was
our
really
photographer and be
strong,
like, hey,
right?
let's
When
do something.
COVID hit and everything shut down, and people were just dumping stuff. I mean, I still spent probably 3 months looking for that airplane.
Detox. That's right. Okay. Back to business. Good for you. Nice.
Yep. And I gave him the money before I ever saw the airplane because it's a heck yes. You know it. You get all the warm fuzzies. You're not getting some dude with gold chains and a spray on tan and like with that New York accent,
En route
slick
to
New York
with a
guy,
higher up
right?
office.
Nope. It was a regular guy. I knew the history on it and the story lined up perfect. I said, here's the money. Yeah. And then I bought the airplane before I ever even seen it. Yeah. And those are the best deals when it's a heck yes.
No, I would love that. I would love that. We actually have a partner program you should check out. It would be totally perfect for you. And anybody else that you know, we'll get you hooked up. Check out that website.
But if it's not a heck yes right now, like we're always trying to find another deal. So
Mr. Vela is not in a good mood, it sounds like.
I will always say to my brokers, if someone calls you and they says they're going to buy a plane, they will buy a plane at some point.
All right, let's try something.
To build that trust and build that relationship so that when they're ready and
Try something here.
they call you and not somebody else or do it on their own, right, potentially find themselves in hot water. Yeah. And so I think that's very educational for brokers and for buyers too. I would say, like, listen, if you want help with that, like brokers will help you. Just set the expectation. Hey, listen, like I want to buy, I want to work with someone because I want someone else looking out for me. I'm not going to do it on my own. Let's establish this relationship with that understanding. And some guys want to go do it on your own, and I get that. That's totally fine. But it could be mutually beneficial as long as there's communication.
Sure. And as a buyer, sometimes I don't even know what I
Really hope you guys can.
I just know that I want an airplane. Yeah. But I don't know anything past that. Yeah. I know that I want to get from here to there in as short amount of time as possible. And that's really the only reason you buy an airplane. Yep. And you can say to your friends,
hello, Jose, Tom with Jet Vero. Good afternoon. I know you get these calls all waste your time, just hoping to catch you at the right time. I wanted to see if you have any plans for 715 Julia Kilo. If you do, give me a call at your convenience. 941-241-2682. Again, 941-241-2682. Have a great day.
Whatever it is, whether it's an airplane or motorhome or exotic car or something like that, right? Because these all fit into that same category. Yeah. These are luxuries. They're not necessities.
Give me a DM what you're looking for. Happy to collab. Also, you can join our community. And there's a marketplace you can source. Later, Milda. Have a wonderful day. That's a nice question. How do you contact the plane manufacturer? I don't know. I'd have to Google Embraer contact the manufacturer. I don't deal with the newer planes, so I don't usually contact the plane manufacturers, just the people who own them now. That one's Brazil. This one's Brazil. Brazil. June.
I don't want any transaction. And also, this could be one of the more expensive things, so it may take me a while.
Okay.
That's great.
You're looking at
That's the macro
several
page. That's
billion
all I'm
dollars. Yeah,
call them anyway.
and by this time, if you're getting to here, you've
Same
probably
as
flown
me.
first
On
class.
there.
You've got other people around you that have jets, so you've flown on their thing and you've liked the experience and stuff like that.
Let's see.
And yeah, I would
Not for
you
sale.
know what you want, but you don't really know
It's
what it
Ms.
is.
Joe
It is.
Burns.
But I think that speaks to what I would encourage brokers to do is have a heart of a teacher. We're not a salesman. We're not a car guy. You're
It was
an
on.
educator. You draw stuff out.
It was on
You
sale for
build
50%.
relationships with them. And it also, I think, takes
Let's
the
see
edge
who
off
had
brokers
this
who
on
do
this
things like, oh, I need to know
for
everything
sale.
about the plane, like to the pilot.
Imaginaire.
Say, no, you don't need to be a
It's not
pilot.
about the plane. It's never about the plane.
Yes.
It's never about the plane. The
All
plane
right,
is a
let's see.
tool. It's a thing. It's like I'm looking at the private jet right now. That guy, I'm assuming a guy, could be a girl. Yeah,
Quebec Sierra.
right. So it's not about the plane.
Joe Peebles.
It's about
Ah,
the
Joe,
person
where'd you go?
And the feeling that they want whenever they can hop into here and have 15,000 movies with a TV that comes up here and have tables that fold out there for no reason whatsoever. Right? Just because you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and frankly, when it becomes that,
Good to see you, man.
they're that
I'm leaving some
motivated.
voicemail
They're gonna
today, doing
build
some
it
bad
themselves.
jokes.
They just want to find the right fuselage shell, and they're going to customize it themselves.
Oh, please.
So then that would be where the broker would be like, I've got this guy that can do all your interior. I've got this guy that can do the avionics package for safety.
Hello, Joe. My name's Tom with Jet Life Aero. Good afternoon.
Got some fantastic paint because,
Why not? You bought it. They're not gonna show
I know
you.
you probably get these calls all the time. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm just hoping to catch you at the right time. If you're looking to make a change with your Phenom, I would love to provide some value to you, let you know what the market's currently doing, what the prospects might be here in the fourth quarter for sale or in the future. If I give you a free valuation on your aircraft and you find out that it's actually worth more than you think it is, would you give me 5 minutes of your time? If so, call me back at your convenience, 941 241 2682. Again, it's 941 241 2682. Have a great day.
Just do a search on Google, YouTube, whatever, you'll find it.
Let's talk. My email. Yes. Shaw, go ahead and Shaw, you should totally connect with the circle community. And then that's a great way for us to so here's do me a favor because I'm going to be making call calls for the next hour. Here's my email address. And then another place you want to check out is our circle community. It's a great place. Get a free course on how to be a broker. And I think it's just a good place for us to connect. So do this, LVM. Oh, I haven't been tracking my calls. I got to be at least at, I'm probably at 10 calls in 52 minutes. This is not a good pace. I should be at like, especially if they're voicemails, it should be at like 20. Twiggy. Couldn't die a Hans. Hansi.
So we put it on top of a Class A diesel pusher motorhome, and you
Okay,
drive
let's
it
go,
from
Mr.
the pilot
Week.
seat. Come on, not kidding. It's awesome.
Let's go.
So, and we even kept the yoke as a steering wheel, and integrated the speedometer and stuff inside the instrument panel, so it kind of looks like an instrument in there. And stuff.
Smell.
It's fantastic, and the whole bottom is chrome, and so it's reflective. And the idea was so
Mike Tom with Jet Life Aero. Good afternoon.
But we weren't able to use the wings, and that's how we're paying for it.
You probably get these calls all the time. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm just wondering if we're catching you at the right time. If so, I'd love to provide you a free valuation on Alpha Fox. And hey, if it's worth more money than you think it is, maybe you give me 5 minutes of your time. We talk about the marketplace and what opportunities there may or may not be out there. So if you have a moment, give me a call. Your convenience, 941-241-2682. Again, 941-241-2682. Have a great day. All right, let's call.
Sinatra, I think, had one. Of course, Elvis actually had two of them. This was the second one. Muhammad Ali had one. I mean, yeah, it was that was the peak of private jets.
Oops.
In the 60s, was the Lockheed Jetstar. And it was designed by the same guy that did the SR-71 and the U-2 spy plane. Johnson, I think is his name.
All right, great question. Ben, commission when you sell your first plane. It really depends. So, anything under $3 million, we're looking for a 4 to 6% total gross commission. So you do the math there, and let's say 100 grand is probably going to be the max. You make 100 grand and then you do a split with the agency. So every agency is different. A lot of them are a 40-60 split. So you get 40% of that total gross commission. They get 60. So you would make 40 grand and they would make 60. When I first started out though, my take home pay was basically $5,000 on average. I sold 20 planes and I took home about $5,000 on average. Sometimes it was 3, sometimes it was 6, sometimes it was 12. Because my planes were smaller and my commissions were smaller. So that's kind of what you would be looking at as far as commission goes.
Did you do that on purpose?
What's that?
Thank you very much.
Oh, no,
Thank you very much.
I did not. I did not. But thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll catch you.
Finkelstein working, not looking sorry to work with me in the future. And Abraham. Here we go. Here we go. Hello, Abram. Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Just reaching out regarding 5 Alpha Sierra. I know you probably get these calls all the time. I am not here to waste your time. I'm just hoping that I might be catching you at the right time on a Friday. We'd love an opportunity to speak with you, maybe give you a free evaluation on Alpha Sierra. And hey, if it's worth more than you think it might be worth, maybe you give me 5 minutes and we kind of discuss a couple options that might be available. If that's of interest to you, calling back at 941. And it hung up. I didn't know that like voicemail could hang up. I think I might have hit a button, but that's
I now know I'm really excited to have you on the podcast today. So welcome.
all right.
Thank you very much for having me. I can't wait to
How's
jam
things
on
going
with
over
you guys.
here?
I know the
Messy
broker life
salami.
is versus
Nice.
jet broker life.
That is quite the screen name you got there, buddy.
I guess one of the first questions I had, like, what is
Brazil.
I see real estate agents, I see realtors,
Pedro.
I see brokers, I see builders.
Oh.
Unpack that for us? So again, I guess the main.
Oh, okay. What was I supposed to? I was supposed to talk to this guy the other day. I think. Hold on, let me go back here.
Maybe they've also been thinking about real estate.
Oh, Brody. Oh, this is Bruce. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a hold of this guy later. So how do I?
Oh yeah, exactly. So obviously I don't really know the whole jet broker lifestyle, but for real estate we have
Do
there's different
this.
tiers, basically. So typically in real estate you either are a real estate agent or you're a real estate broker.
This.
I hold a broker's license. I'm a broker associate under a brokerage that I'm with. I don't really have my own brokerage just yet, but I have the license to be able to, if I wanted to start my brokerage today.
Just got an objection. We don't discuss that. Thank you for calling by. I caused some issues.
You basically take a test, you do all the pre-exam stuff.
I don't know what he's.
And then that's your first license. And then here in the state of Florida, you have to hold that real estate license.
All right, let's see who's next.
Before you even can go do the practice exam and do all the questions.
Open to off market.
And then obviously there's other branches off from
2-8. All right, let's see where it is.
General contracting, which I am now partners in a custom home building company. My general contracting partner holds the license.
Who? Oh, this is the Excel. Okay.
He doesn't have a real estate license.
So now I'm looking at my
It's still in real estate.
My market report and see what's on, what's off market. Looks like this one's off market. Okay, 622.8. G1000 autopilot just had an overhaul. Off market only. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, we called him a month ago, so we're just gonna follow back up. Dude, why are you even considering selling?
It's pay into the NAR, National Association of Realtors Association, to have that designation of realtor.
Gotcha. Okay. So ballpark, if you wanted to get into real estate, you don't have any real estate background. How much is it going to cost you, and how long is it going to take you to get
up and running to maybe your first sale?
So obviously I wanted to expedite my process just a little bit more. So I went all in. I was spending 8 to 10 hours a day doing the pre-licensing exam because that's, I can
Person's
work
not
for
answering.
72 hours here for Florida. So we have to go
You
through
have to study for a certain amount of time.
Yes. Yeah, we have to study for over 72 hours.
Prince, what up?
You either can go do a crash course or do it
E-
online, and then you can then go for your real estate test from there. So if you think about it, you can knock that out in about a week, give or take.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Hey, Joe, do you like
Then
my
what we have to do
my new
is,
ink, bruh?
you got to wait to do your fingerprints.
You've got some tats. Maybe we get another one in Vegas.
And then from there, you just have to apply for your
I'm sure
local board, your
the
local
tats in Vegas are super clean.
then you're officially licensed, and you can start practicing.
Dang, I couldn't even leave a message.
A couple weeks, you could have it all knocked out.
Disconnect.
Going to real estate. Now, getting your first sale is going to depend on
Want to find out
Okay.
why
So
he's
weeks
even
for
open
the
to off
certification.
market.
Okay. Or the license. Is it a license or certification?
The Jet Guy's in the house. Oh, wait, is that Cameron? What's up, Cameron? If anybody needs charters, contact. If you need a charter, contact the Jet Guy. I hope so. Otherwise, I completely messed up your screen name, and then it's gonna be weird. But I don't think it's gonna be weird. Okay.
I mean, are you usually
Jet Suite JSX. Oh, we have the CEO's phone number. That's good. Pakistan, another phenom for Pakistan.
30, 60 days as a real
Harmony of the Seas
Exactly.
Empire.
It's kind of tricky. It
It's
all
kinda
depends.
cool.
Like for me, I
Cool
personally
business
moved
name.
from Wisconsin, moved down here to Sarasota. I did not know anyone, right? So I had
Yeah.
no, which most agents rely on, right? When
All
they get into
right.
business,
Rodney.
I'm an agent.
Voicemail.
If you know anyone
Text.
that's looking to buy or sell, just let
Some
me know.
market
That's literally the
reports.
typical
Hung up.
spiel that
Oh,
any
bummer.
other agent would do. But like for me, I couldn't do that, right? So I leveraged video initially when I got into
All right, here we
real
go
estate
again.
when I first got my license. So I created a YouTube video, and my experience is a little bit unique because in my first video, within the first couple days, I had someone call me, and they're like, "Hey, no, I'm ready to. I want to go buy a house." And within a week, we were showing them houses. Like that was exponential.
All right. No voicemail on that. Okay.
What was that?
How quick was that for you then?
So, but this is getting us through calls quicker.
2 weeks.
Oh god.
Let me go check in and
Yeah,
see
so my experience is a little bit
how many
different
calls
because
I've
the
made so far.
transportation
This is under
services
dashboard.
between 30
You, I'm up to I'm up to 32 calls. Let's go.
You can expect to maybe get a commission check or work your way towards that commission check.
Oh wait,
If you
that's
already have a
that's
lead
no
here,
today.
then maybe you can do it with
32 calls today. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so there's guys out
All right. So
there
32
that
calls
really
in
need
an hour.
listing if the market's hot.
Maybe I got 20 in an hour.
Under contract, so by
All right. That's
45 to 90
better.
days, you have your first check. What
And I should. So we also want to make sure that we're copying the email address in case.
expectations for a real estate agent should be.
Yo, Jet Guy, what is your name? And tell me about yourself. Like, dude, if you got stuff going on, we'd love to hear more about it. What up, Bones?
what I made in my first year.
For life.
I made
Oh, this one just
$40,000
came on the
in
market.
real estate, not knowing anyone.
Backwards.
I was 20 years old.
They
And
just bought it too, and they're
I thought
selling
it
it.
was pretty good
See
for my
that?
first year.
Kind of
Hey,
interesting. I haven't
just got
seen
into the business.
that in the past.
Here in Sarasota.
Working would go for a higher time.
From 40,000 to maybe
Okay, to
50,000
Grayson.
a year. And then from there, it's just an exponential.
Mr.
Right? Like for me, it's been exponential year over year over year.
Goes by
It all just
Phil.
depends on your marketing at the end of the day. But the first year is really just you're trying to get your balance into the market.
All right, the notes say he goes by Phil, so let's see how this goes.
And so to make 40K, how much do you feel like the average or the average person is investing? I mean, the real estate license I think is around $2,000 to $3,000 when you include like the course and stuff. Is that right?
Another dude, you're in Dubai? Dude, I want to hear more. Can you DM me? Yes, I need some. Hey, Phil, Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon. Just reaching out on 7 Delta Kilo. Wanted to, I know you get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. If you've been thinking about maybe making a move with it, I would love to provide some value to you. Give you a free valuation. If it's worth more than you think it's worth, and it's attractive to you, let's bring it to the market or go off market. But we just love 2-3 minutes of your time to discuss. If you're open to it, call or text me back at 941 241-2682. Again, it's Tom with Jet Life Arrow, 941-241-2682. Happy Friday.
Like your first year, but there's a lot of people dragging that down, you know, and then there's some people pulling up that average.
The
in the first year.
Dean
You said, "Hey,
Miller
you got a team
is
member
in
that
the house,
for
ladies
2
and
months,
gentlemen.
for well over 40
He
minutes,
is
right?
a man of many businesses, many skills,
Okay.
and he's taking time out of his day
What
to
got
watch
you
some
into real estate,
random bro
and how long ago
in
was that?
Sarasota, Florida,
So
smile
I
and
got
dial and
into real estate back
try to
in
make some sales.
2021.
Try to make some sales. Try to convince
So
someone
for me, it was
to get
something
rid of
that I
their
truly
private jet
wanted
and
to
let
do.
me sell it.
I was looking at going into
Okay, let's see if this number's gonna
because I
work for me.
in high school was kind of going towards the medical
This guy
field,
hung up on the
like that,
last person who
I was
called him.
second guessing, like, is that really something that I truly want to do? I knew that being in the medical field offered limitations, right? Obviously, to timing, schedules, travel, flexibility, stuff like that. And then so for me, I was like, okay, what can I do that's going to offer me
Eric, Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Happy Friday.
in income and the most amount of
I'm sorry?
flexibility? And for me, that was going to be real estate.
I'm doing better than I deserve. Thanks for asking. The last guy I spoke to, it sounded like he stepped on a Lego before he answered the phone. He was pissed.
A unique place. I don't know what that place is yet.
Well, hey,
I'm still
I know you probably get these calls all the time. I'm not here to waste your time. Just wondering if I'm catching you at the right time regarding November 200. We're looking for a Phenom 100 to bring to the market in the fourth quarter, or just have on our off-market list, and wondering if you're open to selling it this year.
wherever that takes me, that's where it's going to lead me. I've never closed off opportunities. I've never said no to opportunities, because at the end of the day, I'm like, this one opportunity could lead me to.
I appreciate that. What are we going to, a 300, or are you just going to a newer 100?
Going into the new construction world.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about that for a second. What are
Gotcha. Milk that depreciation and then avoid some recapture and do it all over again. I get it. That makes a lot of sense. That's great. Well, hey, I just out of curiosity, are you a pilot yourself?
Maybe is also some of the reason why,
Okay, hey, I understand. Well, Eric, I know you weren't expecting my call. I'd love to add some value to your day. Do you have a moment for a quick dad joke?
So for me, the limitations are obviously every agent. So every agent says.
Oh, do your thing, man. Thank you for your time and your patience. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
And that's the biggest thing. But
Bye-bye.
break it down. We all offer.
You want to hear the dad joke?
Everything very similar to one
Vacation.
another. Now, sure, some people may have unique marketing propositions.
The whole
Right.
At the end
yeah.
of the day, they're just doing
But I mean, that's what it's about. It's about having fun.
certain right?
Having a good time with these
at the end of the
people.
day. And for me,
Again, please tell me if you guys can hear the calls, because I really don't want you to. I'm just hopeful that you guys don't hear it, so we'll see. All right. Once having more experience, could you make $500,000? Or yes, my third year, I made $600,000. So yes, once you have, by my third year, I was making $600,000. And I know the market's softened, but I have no doubt that I probably, if I was just doing jet brokering, I think I'd be between a $200,000 and a $400,000 a year earner. Is probably where I would be at if I was just doing brokering. But I get distracted, right? I like doing live streams, I like training other people on how to be a jet broker. I'm an entrepreneur, if you will. So, but if you just focus on smiling and dialing, there's no reason why you can't make $250,000 to $500,000 a year. I think the cap is probably going to be somewhere around $800,000 a year. I was just having this conversation with our team earlier today, and that's where you got to get into the other forms of aviation. Maybe you buy a FBO, or you get into the management side, or you open up a charter broker side, or you start a team to work with you. Maybe you invest, maybe you find some investors and you do a fix and flip because you know how to find jets. So that's how I would do that, Ben. Dude, I love your questions, man. You're like always got great questions. All right, who's next? Mr. Jose in Brazil. This guy just bought it last month. Charter company, looks like. This one's in Switzerland. I'm on unit number 55 of 288. For those of you wondering how many Phenom 100s are in the United States or in the world, 288 records that I got to get through. If I'm gonna do this, I got to get through this. So
it's like that was the limitation I saw, was how many houses to, show buyers around, so forth. Your time is really constrained to either sellers or buyers. And so, yes, people can make, seven figures selling real estate, but they are also just nonstop, always grinding in the real estate world. And for me, it was like, yeah, I can do that, and that's what I do. But like, I'd rather go down another path to where I can be a little bit more creative, right? Real estate to me is not creative at all. You're basically put into a box as a real estate agent. You have to follow certain laws, certain rules, so you don't violate them and lose your license. With construction, you have a little bit more creativity.
Tom, it's Tom with Jet Life Arrow calling out regarding 2 Kilo Echo. I know you probably get these calls all the time. I'm not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. Wanted to see if you're looking to make any moves with Kilo Echo this fourth quarter. We're bringing some to the market. Got some off-market ones, and just wanted a few minutes of your time. I'd love to give you a free valuation on Kilo Echo, and if it's worth more than you think it's worth, and it makes a lot of sense to you, then we can talk in more detail. So if I can do that for you, would you give me 2 or 3 minutes of your time? My callback number is 941-241-2682. Again, it's 941-241-2682. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. We're going to call the pilot now.
Real estate portfolio. You do have a team as well. What? Tell us a little bit about that aspect of it. What inspired you to open up a team? What do you like about?
So I know you can't hear them.
Some of the positives that you share with your team about
For you guys to listen in
a great, career
and hear some stuff.
as real estate people.
Oh, of course.
Jeremy Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Happy Friday.
Personal team that I actually started here in Sarasota locally, and then
My name is Tom with Jet Life Arrow. No worries. No, it's all good, man. Just calling regarding 32 Kilo Echo. Well, the reason for my call is I'm just going through the market. Wanted to see if you've heard any whispers or anything about you guys looking to sell or anything this year.
About what's going on in the Sarasota real estate world, and kind of what makes it so unique is, I love selling real estate in Sarasota because of all the opportunities that are there, right? And everyone says like there may be some
Oh,
limitations
great.
with real estate, yes, but real estate for many people is a vehicle to another place, because real
Okay.
estate is where you literally meet, you can meet regular average Joes, you can meet millionaires, you can meet billionaires, just doing a real estate transaction. You can go to these events.
Oh, okay.
For me, the biggest opportunity in real estate is just being able to build quality, genuine relationships with people that I know that I can leverage later down the road. That's what I tell my team is like, whatever you're doing today is going to work for you. It's going to help you later down the road. Yes, you may not see success, in the next 2 weeks, but you're trying to build a solid foundation to either exponentially grow in real estate or go down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like that. I like that. I think what is great about real estate is that it's so relationship driven, so that it's very accessible to people. There's also a very clear pathway, right? It's sign up for the test, prepare for 72 hours, take the test, do the fingerprints, get your MLS board, find a brokerage, hang out there for at least 2 years before you even think about, you can't just open your own brokerage out of nowhere. So it's accessible and there's a pathway. I think that's one of the things where aviation falls short is that there's not a clear pathway. That's one of the reasons why, with our Jet Life program, we have a certificate of completion.
It's about our market average. But if this one only has, you said 1,800 hours?
You need to demonstrate in order to have a professional, ethical, successful transaction in the aviation world.
No, that's great. That's great.
I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's coming underneath everything else.
Sales.
Do you does it have the NXI upgrade?
I'll have people, reach out to me. Hey, Tom, I'm struggling to get this contract signed, and I'm like, okay, well, why should somebody list their aircraft with you?
And standard. No.
Okay,
I'm just looking at what else I have like on the market that I see that just kind of Wi-Fi.
You know what I mean? They come up with these reasons that are not very unique because they're afraid to like dig, or they're not capable of at this point digging deeper to say what really makes you, unique and stand out. It's hard to
rigid door.
And the grind, I totally get what you're saying, that it's a hamster wheel. You always have to keep your funnel full, and that becomes the same in aviation. But like you said, you build those relationships.
So I understand what you're saying, and I think there's good reasons to check out real estate. There's good reasons, I think, for aviation as well. And then anything else like the 50 or belted lav? Looking into aviation, and I think where you're gonna fail on where you might succeed at real estate and where you would fail on aviation is gonna be real estate's very down to earth. Like we all have a house, we can all wrap our minds around taxes, local school districts. I like granite countertop. I don't like. We all have a lived experience of homes, even if they're $1 million homes. Like a door is a door,
Mhm.
it's a toilet. There's a lot. Right. It's like okay, like where are we going? You may have never flown in a private jet before, and so how do you wrap your head around that? You never had to understand what avionics do, what GPS comms
Mhm.
and navigation radios do, what does ADS-B transponder do. So
Okay.
there's a little bit of a learning.
All right.
curve.
That sounds like a plan.
Maybe
Well,
they
I
can't
appreciate, and just so you know,
what you're
hold on, let me
like,
just pull this back up.
maybe you're not used to talking with high net
Uh,
worth individuals. You're not used
Okay,
to
cool.
getting
Yeah,
to
just so you
know
know,
them
Jeremy.
on
So my name's
a
Tom. I work with Jet Life Aero. It's my brokerage out of here, Sarasota, Florida.
So there's definitely
If it's of
challenges
interest of
there.
you, we do
But
have
it
a
sounds
partner
like
program
you
specifically
have
for
work with
pilots and other people in aviation. That if you hear of anything and help us broker a deal, we have a specific commission sharing kind of going on. I don't know if that's something you want me to send you a text message about, but yeah, we always work with pilots. It's we believe in collaboration, especially in a slow market like what we're seeing now. So if you help us get a listing, we split commissions and all that kind of fun stuff, because we want what's best for the owner. Ultimately, we're fully transparent on everything. And yeah, is that something that would be of interest to you?
Sick and tired of the cookie cutter stuff. Like, where's the opportunity
Yeah.
in the custom home building niche that drew your attention?
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of kind of being able to be a residential real estate agent is you see the trends, right? So I can leverage that on the custom home building side, and especially
Okay.
during this
Okay.
past hurricane
Are you still
season,
so if
really
do you fly otherwise besides
future, right? And these homes,
phenoms?
they're maybe 20 plus years old. They may not be up to your typical Florida building codes now with FEMA elevations being raised, everything like
So
that.
were you working with
And
Makia
I
Smith
personally
mostly?
strongly believe that a lot of these homes are going to be
Yes.
either fixed up and flipped, or they're going to be torn down and rebuilt, but to a higher elevation. And I just think that construction is going to be the new custom home building is going to be the new kind of future, so to speak. Yes, everyone loved these amazing track home communities here in Sarasota, loved these huge developments during the pandemic. But my buyer clientele has completely shifted now ever since the pandemic has finished up. And they're like, they don't want to be in a traditional cookie cutter house anymore. They were fine being in that during the pandemic because they were just happy to get into a house. But now that they have options, they're really thinking like, do I really want to be 10 feet away from my neighbor, reach out my window door and actually sit, grab something out of their window? Like, that is legitimately the main questions that we're getting right now. And people moving out of these track home communities and trying to focus on something a little bit more custom. And I think going onto these barrier islands where the hurricanes had hit, we're definitely going to see these homes being built up, maybe 15, 20 feet in the air instead of being the first floor elevation where they basically got 7 foot of storm surge and their whole entire first floor is an island.
Yeah. I think when you think about cookie cutter, at best, if we want to grant as much grace, towards developers and builders and stuff like that, we don't want to villainize them. At best, they're trying to get as many people into a desirable location as possible. Great. Okay, cool. At worst, though, it's really about the developer, the builder, and the profit. With the custom
Yes.
homes, I think you have, I think, you, and again, generalizations, but what I like about the custom homes is that it brings the real estate experience back into the hands of the owners. I mean, so much pride and and so much pride and a sense of accomplishment, I think, was made, when people first started moving to areas. How many times do you hear in the older areas, like, my grandfather built this house with his bare hands, you know? What you're doing is you're giving people the opportunity to experience that sense of, we built this house, but of course without having to literally get a hammer and nail, because I would have no idea how to build a house, and it would just, the first little wind of the hurricane, it's just going to be, if somebody sneeze and all of a sudden the roof's going to come off, type of thing. But you're giving people that opportunity to put a little bit of themselves. It becomes a piece of art. It becomes a piece of who they are. Like, people just, that's part of the human experience, just to kind of put ourselves out into material and what's more a part of your life than the place that you're going to live. I might be getting too philosophical here, but I just think that there's a really cool mind shift that comes into custom homes. And let me just stop there. I just think it's really cool what you're getting into.
I'd like to add on to that really quick. Is I've seen the difference between mainly all the custom homes that we build. The clients are literally saying, this is my last home that I'm going to build, and this is a home that I'm going to be able to pass down to my kids or my grandkids. When I sell a track home community, now nothing's wrong with a track home, because everyone,
Right.
I usually in an ideal location, right? And the price point's a little bit different. But I have not once heard someone say they are excited to pass this down to their kids.
I love that. That's a great point. Just out of curiosity, and I'm hoping that we could dispel a myth here, but like, how accessible is a custom home? Like, for me, I'm thinking like, well, if I want a custom home, I better be ready to drop $1 million. Like, done. Like, can I get a custom home that's more affordable than that, or is it really, unfortunately for the big spenders?
No, not at all. The biggest thing is being able to acquire the land. The
Okay.
land is honestly going to be the trickiest part. It depends on where you are, but here in Sarasota, the land is what really drives up these custom home prices. If you can find land more affordable, you can build a custom home for $500,000 or just a little less, and it can still feel like a quality home. Once again, it just comes down to getting that land acquired first.
Perfect. Well, if people want to find out more about real estate, possibly joining your team, or maybe they're listening and they need a custom home, or they're looking at custom homes, like, where can people find out more information? And just so you know, we are going to answer there. I got 2 questions in here, but where can people find out more information about you, Noah?
No, of course. I mean, the best way to connect with me is reaching out through Instagram, and you can obviously put the links wherever you're going to put them. Otherwise, if you guys want to look at custom homes, our custom home building company is Jane Development Group. You can just search that up in Sarasota, and you will be able to find that. And then obviously, you can go to noahwardgroup.com, and then that also has all my brokerage information along with our custom home building company.
Perfect. Well, let's check out some questions real quick before we let you go. I've got Shahab over here is talking about, he's 32 years old, lost everything and starting over, feels completely lost. All he knows is sales, but he's done with the car sales. What are your thoughts? I mean, just I imagine you probably worked with some people that have some sales experience, maybe even car sales. I have, so I can definitely speak into how aviation, how, how you can, what a path through aviation would look like for a former car salesperson. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Well, here's what I love about people that are in car sales, and I've dealt with a couple of them, is that if they already have that mindset, I personally believe that car sales, you have to grind a lot more because the commissions are a lot less. But if they already have that work ethic to be a car salesman, I feel like the path to real estate is going to be fairly easy, besides obviously taking the licensing course and everything like that. I just feel like being able to leverage your car sales experience, but just transition that into maybe a higher ticket item, like, selling a house. Now, obviously, aviation is going to be a little bit different because your clientele is a lot different than a car salesman versus an aviation client.
Yeah, I think what I've noticed with I had a few guys with the car sales. The good news is that they're not afraid of no. They're used to no, so they're not afraid of it. The bad news is that they forget the clientele that we're working with. Number one, it's a longer sales cycle. So with car sales, usually somebody walks in, maybe it's that day, or maybe it's a week, maybe 2 weeks, whatever, and then you can build a book of business if that's going to be your career. But and even in real estate, like you said, I mean, you're probably at least 30, 45, 90 days, of a sales cycle when you're working with someone. With aviation, it seems as of late, I mean, we're getting listings, and it's once you get the listing, it could be 69 to 120 days. So the listing sells, and it might take you 2 months, 3 months to get the listing. So you might not get a paycheck for 6 months. so that's kind of the thing that they have to be aware of. But I think there's definitely opportunity in the aviation world as well, when you're working with the right right brokerage and the right team to kind of lead you down the path. But it is a new thing that you're going to have to learn. So that'll be kind of the hiccup of it. So yeah, no, I appreciate that. We've got another question from Ben. Aviation sales or real estate, which will be more profitable in the long run? I would. So here's what I can say, and define long run. My first year, I did 6 figures. I made 100K. Guys who are with me, so Noah and I were talking about right now. We've got 15 team members with Jet Life Era who are aspiring brokers, who are brokers right now, right? The guy who's been with us the longest, Alex, had $60,000 in his bank account after 6 months. He took his foot off the gas, and that's what that was his first year. Commission is 60K his first year. He's due to close on a deal this month, so that'll be his 18 months. He'll make over 100 grand in his commissions. My second, third year, by my third year, that year I closed and took home almost $600,000 that third year. And that was that's just what I did, right? So I can speak to like that, and then I'll say now 5 years into it, my last 2 years have been closer to just 100 grand, but a lot of it's going right back into the business. So it's like we feel like we're making nothing at some point, but we're doing all right. And so I think in aviation, if you do the simple stuff, I think you should be able to make 100 grand a year. Like that's my expectation. But what I am finding is with the team, and they'll be the first to tell you, like, they're not making 70 to 100 calls every single day consistently for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row to generate what needs to be done. And so that's kind of where that lands. So in the long run, my next, and I like how Noah explained his play. Like he started real estate selling, then he got into custom home building. So the long play for a broker, I think, is sell, build up a nest egg, and then start looking in the investment world in aviation. Can you find a fix and flip? Can you put your money at stake to buy an airplane cheap? Can you flip it up and make a 6-figure commission on one deal? That's one way to do it. Or you go into charter operations or like there's a pathway. So I would say aviation sales in the long run can be very profitable, from 100 grand to $500,000 just as a broker per year. You can get that set up. It'll take you a couple of years to do it, but I think it's possible. It is going to be a little bit of a hamster wheel, though, to Noah's point earlier. Depends on how you build your book of business.
I'd like to add on that just really quick is I think whether you're in aviation sales or if you're in real estate, I mean, building relationships is going to be key. Like I'm not going to disclose, but like, yeah, I told you my first year I made 40K, but after that year, my year 2, year 3 has exponentially grown. And that's aside from the custom home building company. Like I've closed multiple 6 figures in a year and 6 figures in 1 month. Like, it all came down to the relationships. The relationships that I built in year 1 are what really paid off in year 2 and year 3. Wow. And I think that happens in aviation sales too, I assume, is what you do your first year, it doesn't matter if you make 40K, if you make 100K. I'm looking at it from a 2 to 3 year perspective is everything I do in my first year is what is going to exponentially grow me into year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5.
Love it. Hayden, listen up, man. That's great though. That's really encouraging. And I think you're absolutely right. I didn't think of it that way, but I try to get these guys to their first year, like 100K, like that's the carrot that we're dangling at the end of the stick.
Of course.
But to your point, like even if you don't reach that, like the skills that you learn and acquire along the way is what's going to feed you and make you capable of those big deals in the next years. I love that. That's great. Here's a question from an investor side: is it possible to do both? I mean, I guess it's more of a time management thing. And resources. I mean, but it comes down to relationships. So I think it's tough. When people ask me if I can do both, whether it's can I work as a jet broker part-time or can I get another job or whatever, I'm usually like, depends on your expectations.
I'd like to add on that because I've always been fascinated by the broker or by the jet broker world myself. And I was even thinking about getting into jet brokering as a side thing. But at the end of the day, it questions okay, what I do with the jet broker side, is that going to take away from what I'm doing with my real estate side? And the answer to that is yes. Am I willing to sacrifice what I'm doing and what I've built up for the past 3 years in real estate to then do something else in the jet broker side? And to my point, it's no, but some people could be a little bit different. But you're stretching yourself into two different paths when you could just literally go all in on one industry and then have different segments and different branch offs, kind of like what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I think it's better to go deep than go wide when you're talking about your income. Until you get it under control. Like once you get it under control, maybe you start real estate, maybe you start with a brokerage that encourages building a team. You get your team up and running, and you can step back a little bit, so you're not doing as many deals, but you can still service your team. And now you have 5, 10, 15 hours a week that you can go over here and do custom home building, or you can do whatever else. But one step at a time. I wouldn't try to do both right away. Oh, here's a good one. Does aviation sales get affected by the economy just like real estate? How is real estate right now with the economy?
That's why I love being in the construction industry along with real estate sales, because here's the thing is that real estate sales can be very up and down, very huge waves. Like when a hurricane hits, real estate like slows down in this whole entire area. Like when Ian hit, it
Oh,
was
wow.
completely slow if you think about it. And like right now, the hurricane hits, so people are obviously rebuilding, which that's when our construction company goes in. And so even though a hurricane is a terrible event, real estate sales may struggle just a little bit because people are a little weary, but then construction starts to pick up. So for me, that's why I put my hands in two different pots, because real estate sales go up and down. You may have a 6-figure month, you may then have a $0 month. I would know because I've had that happen to me. And so it's very up and down. But once again, even in a bad market, you just have to work harder. So like if you want your income to be as steady as possible, you may just work less one month because it's a little bit easier. But when the market goes down, you just work harder and you can make the exact same income.
Louder for the people in the back, please. That's what that's what I'm telling people. Like we look at the trends, and Ben, to your question, like last year was the slowest year since 2009, I believe. And if you look at the quarterly transactions, like 600 in the first quarter, 800 in the second quarter, 900 in the third quarter, 1,000 transactions in the fourth quarter, we are trending like it was in 2008, 2009. But the good news is that it still trended positive. So it slacked off, but then from 2009, and then it dipped a little bit from 2008, 2009, but then from 2009 up, it just kept going up. It just like the number of transactions continued to, like, there was never a big dip. So for example, if last year there were, let's just say 7 times 4, 2,800 transactions. The worst year before that was maybe 2,500 transactions. Okay, so we're not talking like the market totally shut down. And when we look at it this year, yeah, it was a slow first quarter. Second quarter, I think it was like 600, 700, no, 600, 600. It popped in the third quarter to 800. So we're even like different there. So as far as how aviation is tied to the economy, like, yeah, things will slow down, right? Yeah, if the banks aren't lending money, like there's going to be less transactions because the interest rates are high. If it's an election year, people don't know how they're going to, favor or not favor aviation, whether it's on climate stuff or it's on taxing stuff, whatever. But you just got to work through it to Noah's point. Like you just know that it's going to be a little tougher, and you got to step up and do it. And dude, I'm so sorry to keep.
You're all good. I got time. We're fine.
Okay, cool. Because Ben's just firing away with these great questions, and I think this is the last one. But the good thing about real estate, there's more houses to sell than jets. What do you think about that?
So my only theory is a house is an everyday, I shouldn't say an everyday item, but it's going to be a main staple for most people here in the United States. Like a house is something that pretty much most people could obtain, right? And however, that the housing market is strictly tied to how well the economy is doing, because having a jet, in my opinion, is an ultra luxury, or it's a luxury, right? So it's an additional thing that, yes, it gets impacted by the economy. But I don't feel like you would get impacted as much as real estate, because real estate is what an everyday Joe is going to buy. An everyday Joe is not going to buy a private jet. So they obviously have that extra money to spend, but when people in the economy start struggling, that's when real estate really starts to struggle, is because those everyday Joes are highly impacted by inflation or wage cuts or whatever that may be. That impacts how much they can afford on a mortgage.
No, that is an excellent point. You think about the top 1% of individuals, they either saw this coming or they have hedged their bets to where if the economy goes south, they can find ways to make money. That's why they're in the position that they're in. In terms of, more houses than jets to sell, yes, that is true, Ben. But I will say that when you look at the numbers, as far as I think, I think I remember the numbers like 4 million real estate. Let me know. Let's just do this real quick, because I want to put this to, not put this to rest, but I want to
Rest.
yeah. Let's see. So like, if I ask how many houses in the United States, okay, 145 million. Okay, but that wasn't it. I think the question I had was how many real estate transactions in 2023. This is okay. So there were 4 million transactions. How many real estate agents in 2023? And then it came up with, let's see, there's 360 brokerages, 1.54 million realtors. So if we do 1.5 and then 3 million, 4 million, so that would end up being what? 1.5. That's like 2 houses, 3 houses per agent. But they're not all active, right? How many active? Oh, great. And my Bluetooth shut down. I think when we do the math, it's about, what would you guess, active real estate agents?
10% of it, like
Yeah.
honestly.
Real estate agents in the USA, 1.35 active, 2 million license. Okay, so here it is. So 4 million. Okay, so 4 million sales for 2 million. That's two sales per person. Approximately 1.35. So if we took, yeah, that's what I did. Okay, so if we did 2 million, and you times that by 5%, that's 100,000 real estate agents. So really, the real estate agents, if they had 4 million sales and only 100,000 of them were actually active. Okay, that's okay. And then if you look at jets in the world, it comes out to be roughly the same, is what I'm trying to point out here, is that for as many houses as there are for real estate agents, the actual slice of the pie of agents that got it, it's the same for jet brokers, where there's so few jet brokers and so few jets that the average active jet broker is getting 2 to 3 sales, 2 to 3 transactions per year, and that's average. So in order to be above average, to get like 10 or 20 sales a year, you're only beating out about, I think it was like maybe a couple hundred people. I'll have to find the Instagram that I did, but it's competitive. Like, you might think that there's a smaller pool of product, but there's also a smaller pool of people who are selling the product. So you're still working just about the same. It's not like there's more opportunity, in my opinion. I don't know if those numbers make sense to you or not.
No, and I also want to add to, it doesn't matter how many licenses or how many licensees are out there in the world, because most of them aren't active. You really have to focus on, like, for example, there's 10% of agents that are going to do most of the production in the United States out of all the 2 million. And probably it's the same with jet brokers, but just a different percentage. Like, it doesn't matter how many licensees are out there, it's how many licensees that are actually actively producing in that given field.
Right, and then that's where I would give the advantage to jet brokering, because to be in the top percent of 4 million real estate agents, you need to beat out, what is that, 400,000 or 40,000 people. To be in the top 10% of 3,000 jet brokers in the world, you have to beat out 300 people.
Mhm.
I'd rather beat out 300 people than 30,000. So that's where, yeah, I think that's just a number thing that I get the question a lot. When I talk about real estate versus jet brokerage. So I wanted to kind of have that conversation with you. But no, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you want to add before we close up shop, man?
No, I mean, we'll just have to come back for a part 2. That's all I gotta say.
That sounds good. Well, thank you so much, and we'll catch you on part 2.
Fantastic.
So if I met you 4 months ago and told you that you would be selling your very first private jet, what would you have thought?
I would not have believed you, Tom. I mean, when I started out in this business, and even before that, I had no clue that selling jets was a thing you could do.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Jet Life Podcast. My name's Tom Lelio. I'm your ultimate jet guide. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on aviation. Whether you're a buyer or an aspiring broker, we're here to help you buy and sell private jets without wasting time, losing money, and with no experience necessary. And speaking of no experience, I'm here today joined by 2 amazing jet brokers. I've got a veteran, Kevin Walsh, who's now on his 2nd or 3rd deal, and one of his team members, Gabriel Dickerson, who's going to be joining us, 19 years old, a baby 19-year-old. He just turned 19 a few months ago, and he closed his very first deal a little while ago, and we're super excited to have them both here on the podcast. So, gentlemen, welcome.
How you guys doing?
Well, I'm super excited to have you guys today because people ask, like, what does it take to be a private jet broker? Should I be a pilot? Should I be a mechanic? Do I need sales background? Do I need to know somebody? Or what courses do I need to take? And the 2 of you are just great examples of different backgrounds coming into this and being able to close deals with no experience necessary. So let me ask you first, Kevin, just because you kind of started out here, what was it about private aviation that kind of drew you into it, and what made you finally decide, like, okay, this is going to be the career move I want to make right now?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. I like the freedom of not going to a 9-to-5 job or a retail job anymore, and just being able to wake up and do my thing, and then make my calls and enjoy a day where kind of I dictate it, right? And that day looks different every day. Like, I was working on Saturday, I was working on Sunday for a brief moment, but it's always evolving. You never know when you're going to be on call or have to send an email or do a text. So it's a 24/7 job, but it's dictated when you kind of want to do it, and when your customers and clients need you, which I like a lot better than having to be somewhere, right, for 40 hours or 45 hours a week. And you need a clock in, you need a clock out, and it's just you're held to their to what they want you to do and when they want you to do it. And there's a lot more freedom and the potential, and why me, Gabe, and Tom are all sitting here, the potential of a lot of money. And there's some big deals out there. I have 2 I'm sitting on right now that are big deals that if they hit, it's going to be well over $100,000 for 2 of them. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that. Grateful for anything I get. I have a lot of kids, so I'll take anything I can get.
Well, Gabe, let me ask you, if I had met you 4 months ago and told you, like, hey, listen, in 4 months, you would actually be selling a real private jet, what would you have said? What would you have thought?
I probably would have thought you were crazy. I mean, I didn't even know this was an industry prior to getting into it. I was in the car market for a while, right out of high school, had a great GPA, and decided to get in sales. So, a little bit of a risk taker. And I mean, I was enjoying it. I was doing good. And then I was working with a great group of people too. And my stepdad comes to me after a little bit. He's in the industry with you, and he goes, Gabe, I really think you should, give this a go, or at least, talk to Tom, put some thought into it. And my first thought is, why would I sell private jets? I mean, I'm 19. Nobody's going to want to talk to me. And I put a little bit of research in, watched a lot of your videos. And for anybody that's thinking about it, I mean, if you go on Circle, everything's there. I mean, it was like a whole crash course. It provided everything I needed, and I started getting into it. And then I thought, honestly, I mean, if I'm selling cars now, I think I could probably swap to Jets. It's a little bit of a jump, but I mean, as Kevin said, building on that a little bit, the ability to do it when I wanted, when I'm able to build my own hours, I mean, that's incredible. When you wake up at like 7 in the morning all the way till, 9 at night, or, 9 to 5 in the car market, like it really it's taxing. And just the ability to sleep in till maybe 9 or 8 or when I want, and then go to work till, I'm done. It's a big difference. So, I mean, I wouldn't have believed you just on your question there, and I'm really happy I'm here.
Tell me what the training was like, and I definitely want to get into what was it like being a 19-year-old trying to do this. But first, like, what was the training like? You had a little bit of a sales background, you had a great GPA, but what was your initial impressions of the circle community? And then
Oh, my bad. Thanks, Ben. So to answer the question, how many people are making six figures? The answer right now is zero. So there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, we've only been around for about a year and a half, and the broker that's been with us for a year and a half, Alex, he made 60K in his first 6 months, so he's on track to make $100,000 in his first year. But he'll be the first to tell you he took his foot off the gas. So he's going to be closing on his third deal this month. So that'll be about 18 months. Actually, not even like 16 months, and he'll have over 100 grand take home pay. So the system does work. The problem is that the people who are with us now that are still currently working, they haven't been in it for they maybe been in it for maybe 6 months, if that. But the volume, if you look at the volume, it's not there. They're not making 50 to 100 calls a day. They're getting better and more disciplined about it. But it's funny. You set a target, and people don't always rise to the target. So I maybe need to set the target like 200 calls a day. So people kind of like, oh wow, I need to do that many, and they'll fall at 100. But yeah, I was making 70, 80, 90, 100 calls a day for weeks at a time to get my momentum, to take off when I first started. And I just haven't seen anyone put in that consistency and that level um of activity yet. So I don't think that what I can tell you is people are making it is a numbers game. People are making sales, they are getting listings. So I know the course and the material and the knowledge and the skills works, and you can apply it and make money. The question is, if you want to make money at that level, it takes a lot of effort. And we're getting better. We're getting better. We're getting more disciplined. I'm excited. I'm really excited for everyone that's on the team because they're really good people. And now that they're seeing where things are going, we've got a really big we've got a lot of good stuff coming ahead. So hope that answers the question.
then when we pulled the curtain back and you actually saw the training that was offered, can you speak to that and just tell us what stood out?
Yeah, I mean, first off, you guys weren't like, he's 19, treat him like a baby. I mean, you treated me like I was part of the team. And from the start, I was in the role plays. I think on my second meeting ever, I was thrown up on the role play. And I sounded horrible. I mean, it was a completely different like thing from what I was used to selling cars. Um, it's almost like you're working a little bit more on once. And I mean, it was what I needed. I was treated like I was part of the team, and it brought me into this whole new world with the training wheels that I needed to be able to be here now talking to you all about closing a deal within, I think it's like 5 months is kind of the base that you will get a deal. And we did it in under 4. I mean, the plane was only listed for about 30 days before it ended up finding a buyer. So, yeah.
Kevin, what about for you? So what's really
Hmm.
unique here is that we have the revenue profit share, the revenue share plan, where once you're a broker with Jet Life Arrow, if you recruit somebody to be on your team because you want to train them, and this is you don't have to do this. It's not like recruiting kind of a pyramid thing. It's not that. But for those people who enjoy coaching others and want to build a business within the Jet Life ecosystem where you have the training like Gabe is talking to, you're our pioneer right now, Kevin, in the revenue.
Eric Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. I know you could probably get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping I might be catching you at the right time today regarding One Tango Whiskey. If you've been thinking about making a move, give me a call at your convenience, 941-241-2682. Again, 941-241-2682. It's Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Would love to connect with you regarding bringing your Phenom 100 to the market. Thanks.
Yeah, there's a good quote.
How many hours I work? I mean, yeah,
go
it's a full-time
fast,
job.
go alone, and if you want to go far, go together. And
As far as how many hours I was working making 100 grand a week, I mean it was full 40 hours. It was COVID time, so like there wasn't as much like with the kids, like picking them up at school and going to soccer and all that kind of stuff. So I will say that I was getting there early at like 8 o'clock in the morning, so I was ready to dial at 9:01. And I was staying 5, 6, 7 o'clock if I needed to stay to get 100 calls in. So 40 hour, you can do it in 40. Like, listen, I've been on this live stream for almost 2 hours now, and I am, let's see, how many calls in am I? I'm 46 calls in. So if I can do 40 calls in 2 hours, if I was doing 8 hours, 4 times, that's 160 calls. Like 100 calls is not a ton if you just put your head down. So like, I mean, I wouldn't do it part-time. You wouldn't have the volume to do this part-time, but if your expectation is I don't need to make 100 grand, I only need to make like, I don't know, 50 grand, or I just need to make a few sales just to kind of learn how to do it. Then sure, then you can do it part-time. But I mean, here I am, guys. Like I'm showing you, man. Like this is what it takes. This is how we do it. It's not rocket science. It's simple, not easy. Otherwise, everyone would do it. Michael already has a broker. I'm going to ask him about that. You really?
and to go far, right? I'm a very I see things and I envision things and how big they can get, and to train people and to get them up, and then to get
Mike, Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Happy Friday.
You get money off the back end of it.
You sound great. Last person I spoke to sounded so mad. He stepped on a Lego before he answered the phone. So I'm glad to hear you're feeling positive. Not here to waste your time. Just wanted to reach out regarding 5-6 Sierra Bravo. We're calling through the market, seeing if owners are open to selling in this fourth quarter.
Gabe is just speaking to Gabe. He's very easy.
Ooh, okay. No worries. Everyone I'm talking to today is kind of happy with their Phenom for one reason or another. Real quick, like I have on my notes here, I guess when we talked back in June, you mentioned another broker. I don't want to step on any other broker's toes. So if you have a good relationship with a broker, is that still the case, or was that just kind of like, okay, okay? No worries, no worries. Thank you so much for your time.
Let me ask you both this question, and I'll let Gabe answer first. But what would you say to the doubters that are like,
All right, he's got a
19
broker.
years old, you shouldn't
So
be
call
saying
outbound.
this, you can't do this, and
So
Kevin,
whoops.
what would you say
46.
to the doubters that are like, you have no experience?
Okay.
Based on
These are
what
outbound calls right now, but yeah, when it comes to when we get a listing, that's when people buyers
in
start
New
calling
York,
us,
you know, you don't
and that's
have
our
that
inbound calls when the buyers
experience.
start to call us.
Gabe, what would you say to the doubter in a nice way, right? I mean, obviously we can
Yeah.
get a little fired up here, but just kind of curious from your perspective, you know, how are you approaching that challenge? Because it is a challenge that you'll face for, you know, probably the next 10 years of your career.
I'll be honest about a lot of people that own the Jets. I mean, it doesn't bother them. Like, number one, I didn't even have to mention my age on my deal that I closed. But some owners that I'm planning on working with, I mean, I mentioned my age to them, and they go, "Good for you." Like, it reminds them of themselves. I mean, they were young
Ah.
once, and they're all business owners. So in a way, it helps out. I mean, I'm a kid that's a hungry dog runs faster. Um, But I think I would point it at my dealership where I was working prior. I mean, the first thing they said was, don't do it. It's all commission. Don't do it. Who's really buying Jets? And I mean, I had those doubts carrying into it when I started. I thought, maybe they're right. Oh, I'm scared. And that's how it was for like 2 months till I got a listing. And I didn't realize how much the jet industry really does move. I mean, there's a lot of people buying and selling, and especially coming up on Q4, you're coming up on the best time to do it. So I think I put it there towards where I was
Yeah.
working prior. I mean, and I understand where their heads were at, but I mean, I believe in it, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah, no, and that's just it. And I, part of being a part of the team is helping with that belief. You know, you see things around you. Like you see Alex closing deals, you see me closing deals, you see Kevin closing deals, you see people coming up with experiences, and you're like, oh, okay, there is stuff going on. Like there's momentum. I think a lot of times people try to do it on their own, and they're just kind of like, well, no one's picking up my phone call, you know. But if no one's picking up your phone call and you pick your head up and you look around, you're like, well, you know, uh, Kevin's got a listing, or Katie made 50 phone calls and 30 people answered her phone call. Like it causes you to kind of just think, well, maybe I can make a few adjustments. And you don't give up as easily as you might. So before we talk about the deal,
Hello there. My name is Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon. Just calling to see if Mr. Hollander is available, please.
But what was it? Can you compare and contrast learning about a car versus learning about a jet and the marketplace? And so when somebody said to you, "How much is my jet worth?" That you could feel confident in speaking into it. What was that whole process like?
Mm-hmm. Well, first off, learning the cars, I mean, my managers would give me like a little sheet of paper, and I had all these questions about the car. I would go out in person to hop in the car itself and just go over everything I could. And a lot of the times, I think I skipped over that process and just kind of went for it. I mean,
Hello there. My name is Tom with Jet Life Arrow. This message is for Aaron, and I hope it is of interest. I know you probably get these calls all the time, Aaron, on 5 Foxtrot Alpha. I'm not here to waste your time. Just wonder if I'm catching you on the right time on this happy Friday. If you get a chance, give me a call back at your convenience regarding the Phenom 100 market, maybe some options moving forward, whether it's an upgrade or liquidation or whatever it might be on 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Again, my name is Tom with Jet Life Arrow, 941-241-2682. Have a great day. Wow, that was not a good voice.
Start learning so much.
Not gonna lie, I'm getting a little tired here. Thinking 3 o'clock is a good time to just.
And so I think the trainings help out a lot too. I mean, recently we started bringing our market reports to trainings, and that helped me kind of get on top of everything. So
All right, these next 3 are all. We're still only on number 85 out of 288.
What was your first?
There's a bunch of Phenom 100s to call there.
Individual. Do you remember anything about it?
Oh yes, I know these guys. Okay.
Yeah, in cars they used to say you remember every first sale, and this you kind of remember your first call. And I think it was a voicemail. I called and left a voicemail, and I felt like, wow. Yeah, I probably sat there for 2 minutes, like I can do this. Called and
Okay, so here's an example where I'm like, okay, I know this guy's not going to sell his because he owns a shop, but it's still worth calling him and just reconnect. And
to a month until I got my first pickup, and it happened to be with the buyer of this jet. And I called him, and he said, "Oh, well, I actually buy and sell." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, let's get in contact. Let's stay in contact. It might be good for future."
voice.
He was a great dude, and he was really incredible to work with. I mean, super on top of his stuff. it was like
Chris,
going
Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon.
And
Hope you're
so
doing well, man. I know it's been a while since I think we worked together on a couple of Phenom 100s when I was at my old brokerage. Now I'm kind of doing it on my own, and just wanted to reconnect. I'm calling through the market, so
it, it was great.
8 Delta X-ray is kind of next on my list.
But
I'm sure you're probably not looking to sell it right now, but if you are, give me a call. I'd love to help you out, and
through
we'd just love to reconnect.
that
Not sure if you're going out to Vegas in a couple of weeks, but we'd love to see you there.
and
And call me
were
or text me when you get a chance. 941-241-2682.
they were incredible to work with. They weren't in it for much.
That's another call.
They were able to, be a little bit more like,
That's how this
you're the
works.
broker, go ahead and take control of this and handle it for us.
Do it again.
Which is, every broker's dream. You want to be able to be on top of the deal, and the owners just
And
want to be
another
on
one.
top of the deal.
And another one.
It was just a very healthy relationship going into this sale, moving forward with the buyer, and getting things done pretty quick. So it worked out.
So getting it listed, we had to get professional photos taken. Obviously, the brokerage handled all the photos.
Lindsay.
Got it listed on controller.
Interesting when it's a gentleman by the name of Lindsay.
When people would call you about the jet, and then how did you finally end up with the buyer that ended up eventually buying the aircraft?
So a lot of the contacts I had were people more building market research in my realm of feeling. I mean, I think they were just kind of calling to figure things out. And there was one that was close. But,
Lindsay Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Happy Friday. Reason for the call is regarding 2 Echo Papa. I'm sure you get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time, just hoping to catch you at the right time. We'd love an opportunity to speak with you, provide you a free valuation on the Phenom, let you know what the market's doing, and give you some information to see if it might be a good time to make a move. And so if I could do that for you, hopefully you give me a couple minutes. My callback number is 941-241-2682. Again, 941-241-2682.
and things just kind of
Trying to get the
building
hands
together
involved
for
now.
'em.
Now that the head's kind of like, yeah.
So you handling the
Let me
buyers,
get the hands involved.
but that's just the beginning. So this
Mhm.
plane, this pre-buy, these negotiations was a slew of learning opportunities. Tell us about that, because I think one of the first one is getting the numbers right, getting the records right.
Goes by
If I
Matt.
remember correctly, that was one of the first things we had to learn. That the information that we had was
Joke
like,
off.
we had a
Great question, Ben. I might answer you in a second.
sent the actual logs to the buyer.
There was a lot of stuff. I mean, the way I look at it, every hiccup that could have happened happened. So I was able to learn a lot off my first deal, and I'm hoping the second one that's coming up pretty soon is a lot easier. So I remember when we got this listed, we got a ton of info on it. Turns out the SESCOM, which is essentially a Carfax for the jets, was correct. It had some stuff that was logged incorrectly. It had some dates that weren't correct.
Matt, Tom with Jet Life Arrow, just cold calling Phenom 100 owners, and now you're gonna be like, go get a burger. That's cold, bro. So I think I'm gonna go do that because I want a concrete. I've been wanting one all week long. If you want to sell your Phenom 100, you should give me a call, 941-241-2682. I'll give you a free valuation on it, and let's see if it makes sense. 941-241-2682. Have a great day.
And those
You gotta have fun with it.
maintenance records are only as good as the people putting the data that's put
Quick.
into those systems. So if there's a breakdown where
Hello.
a mechanic puts in something wrong or forgets to put something
Hey, man.
away, we can have a problem. And so we noticed that there was a little bit of a discrepancy when we actually looked at the logs, because we learned like it's really important to get scans of major logbook events, the latest big inspections like a phase 1 through 4 and phase 5, the engine, the last time it was overhauled and the components from that, and the last time it was hot section and the components for that. So once we got those main milestones and we compared that to the maintenance tracking, there were a few things that were amiss, but we got it worked out. Not a problem. We figured, and so that led us to a different asking number. What was it like going to the owner and being like, hey, I know your plane, I said it was probably worth X, but now it's worth Y because of this new data that we have. What was that conversation like?
Fortunately for these buyers, I mean, again, they were not in it for much. I mean, they ended up getting the plane fair and square, but for like a low amount. So they were making money regardless from the X to Y jump, and it worked out for them. But I mean, I was a little worried about it because I mean, in the car market, like you sit down face to face with people, at clients, and you try to basically change the number, and you have to move it around, and that happens a lot. And in the plane, industry, I didn't think that would happen too much, but it ended up, being the case. That's sales. And again, I mean, it was a little stressful trying to do that, but he took it incredibly well. Again, it was a healthy relationship. Could not have asked for a better client, really.
And in that
Sorry,
regard,
go
was that when I started to get involved? Because I think at some point during this deal,
Mm.
I had the opportunity to step in and kind of help out a little bit. How was that helpful for you? And maybe, like you said, maybe it was similar to car sales, but like, I think it's important that, if you're starting out in a new journey and you're trying to go through a deal, you're not just buying a course and then you got to figure it out on your own. But being with Jet Life, like I step in deals on a regular basis to help
Mm.
get things across the line. And so what was that experience like for you?
I mean, in the car market, like again, I'm going to keep drawing evens for a lot of the viewers out there that might not be in a similar industry. Like it is different, but in the car market, we get our deals TO'd a lot. Like we'll have a manager come sit down. I think that authority figure like helps out in a lot of the situations, but that was the same thing here. So, I mean, you probably have 100 texts from me. I mean, I was always trying to get in contact and get help, but you were incredibly helpful. I mean, this deal was like essentially close to dead when liens popped up. This was a little bit after.
Oh, that's right. That was the
Yeah, it was 20 years
so we
back.
finally get the right yeah,
Yeah.
we finally get the right so the log the maintenance track is off.
Yeah.
Then we get to the number, we got to go back and forth because now it's like worth half of
Yeah.
what we thought it was worth. Get it under
Yeah.
contract, that everything's looking good, and then liens.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us about
Yeah.
the liens.
Every hiccup that could have happened. But turns out there were liens that were 20 years old on this thing, and they were on the engines. And turns out the buyer was going to part it out for a certain amount, and it would work out for them in that aspect. So we had to go back to the buyers and then be like, well, look, like I know there's liens, and I know you have the fear factor now, but you got to remember it's still worth a value, and they've been in the business for a while.
You
and
mind
they've
bringing the
probably
price
seen
down a
similar
little
stuff.
bit more?
Exactly. And I had to go back to the owners and do the X to Y thing. But again, I mean, they weren't in it for much, and the value still added up, and we're talking a big sum of money realistically, so
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
worked out.
No, that's so got through the liens. That's awesome. And then on top of all the liens, I think one of the final problems was just scheduling a time to come out there. Is that right? Or am I missing any other
That
problems?
that and the logbooks. I think the logbooks were missing a couple of years, and so
Oh, there's a
another thing
gap.
on top of it. Yeah,
Yep,
there was a
there was a
gap. So
gap.
like it was missing. I think close to 10, if not 15 years, and
Oh my
so that was a whole another thing. But when you're parting out the aircraft, it's not the end of the world. So it still
Yeah.
ended up working out. But
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But we got it. We got it done. And now here you are sitting, 4 months into 19 years old, and you sold a jet. That to me, like, you're a broker now, man. You have
Yeah.
successfully brokered a deal. And so what's on the horizon at this point? Like, what are you looking forward to next? Do you want to keep in this market? Do you want to advance into a bigger market, or what's on the horizon for you?
It's growth. I mean, I'm looking at the Citation 3 market, been playing in there, and I want to get into as many citations as I can. I mean,
Mhm.
Citation 2 is just going to be that foundation because, I mean, it moves so much. It is a popular market. I've really enjoyed it. And the owners are real cool in there, good guys. So, I mean, I don't see myself moving from there. I want to keep growing from here. And I mean, we've got a couple deals loaded. I mean, one we're working off market right now. I mean, everything's starting to line up on it, so it's looking good. And if we don't do off market, we're gonna list it. So
Mm.
I mean, it's only growth. It only gets better. So
What's one or two of your biggest key takeaways from this deal and just your time so far as working with Jet Life Aero?
good question. I think consistency kind of rings the first bell. If I wasn't making like 100 calls last month every day, I mean,
Crazy
I
amounts.
wouldn't have. So, yeah, I think what was it like 1900 or something
It
like
was
that?
like 17, 18, 1900 calls in 30 days. It was ridiculous.
I, yeah, I moved in with my girlfriend and I needed money. And I said, I believe in this business, otherwise I'd leave. So I started pounding as many calls as I could and just stayed with it. And that consistency and belief, I think those two things really brought me to where I am and are now providing me with the ability to harvest this deal. And if not, two more coming up that we've already got working in late stages. So things are looking good right there. But consistency and belief. I think you got to believe in it. And you got to be consistent with what you're doing.
Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, go to circle.jetlifeaero.com and check out our online community for aspiring brokers and current brokers. Here you'll find discussions, all thing aviations based, things that you're going to want to know as an aircraft broker. You can also check out our free training as well as more resources that are available to help you to become a better jet broker. That's circle.jetlifeaero.com to begin your journey within the broker community absolutely free. All right, Gabe. So just kind of wrapping it up here, what would you say to someone who's thinking about coming into the aviation industry, not necessarily Jet Life, but just in general? What is what is your first 4 or 5 months in the aviation industry taught you that are kind of key takeaways that you would want to impart on somebody who's like thinking about dipping their toe into aviation?
Start out with the circle. Just listen to the videos that Tom has out there. I mean, it'll tell you everything you need to know. I mean, the basics you're going to learn. Get into that. And then, make the next step to talk to Tom himself and just see if it works out for you. I mean, he's going to be real down to earth. He's going to make sure it works for you, as I said. And then get into these meetings with everybody. I mean, that was the biggest thing for me, talking to people that have already done it for a while. I fortunately had my stepdad in close contact I was able to talk to and help, get work through this. But take that first step and believe it because it works. If a 19-year-old can do it, why can't you?
That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and look forward to many more deals for you and for the company, and congratulations on your success.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, KJ. So it's past Thanksgiving. It's December 1st. And I just announced to my family at Thanksgiving dinner that, hey, I'm going to be buying my very first private jet. The election's over. My candidate won. I can't wait. So here we go. It's December 1st. Is it too late for me to buy a private jet?
Well, Tom, it might be.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Tom Lelio. I'm your ultimate jet guide. And on this channel, we pull back the curtain on private aviation to help you, whether you're a buyer or an aspiring broker, buy and sell private jets with no experience necessary. Today, we're tackling the exciting world of aviation taxes. Let's go. And so I am bringing on an expert from Aviation Tax Consultants. This is KJ McCarter. KJ, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate having me on again.
Yeah, for sure. Well, frankly, what happened was we were just kind of hanging out and scrolling, and I came across an article that someone at your shop was sharing about the 60% bonus depreciation for 2025 aircraft deliveries. And I had some questions on it. I was like, okay, so if I buy an aircraft in 2025, do I get 60%? And then it was talking things like words like place in service and year end and all this fun stuff that I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So I wanted to get a chance to speak with you and just kind of pick your brain on this whole thing. And thank you very much to you and Aviation Tax Consultants for putting that article out there.
Yeah. Kyle Kamen from our office prepared that article and did a great job with it. It does a good job touching base on basically the difference between placing a plane in service before the fourth quarter of the year versus within the fourth quarter of 2024, because there's a little bit more depreciation available potentially if we place the plane in service prior to the fourth quarter beginning versus if we wait until after September 30th. However, a really important piece to discuss here too is just the fact that if we want to take any deductions in 2024, we need to place a plane in service before year end. So it's very, very important. Even if you don't close before September 30th, it's important that you close before December 31st and also place the plane in service, which we can discuss what that means prior to year end if you want to depreciate the plane in 2024. Because if you close in 2025 and place the plane in service for tax purposes in 2025, depreciation deductions will begin in 2025.
Right. All right. So let's pull back the curtain here and start from the very beginning. First and foremost, this idea of buying a jet for tax purposes basically boils down to, if I buy a private jet, I can write off all or part of the purchase against my taxable income. And so for the
Oh
last
man.
2 years,
Oh man. So excited for this. And then I believe we just got a $4.5 million PC-12 NGX listing. And the broker that got the listing has only been doing this for a month. So guys, you can do this. Y'all can do this, okay? Great question, Ben. As always, another great question. One momento. Boom, boom, boom. Can you be part-time? Yeah, you could do it part-time. Like, listen, like, could you start being a broker part-time and get and exceed your full-time income? Like, I mean, I don't know what your full-time income is. Like, if the goal is to make 100 grand a year and then you only work half that time, so you make 50 grand in the first year, and you're only making 40 now. Like, yeah, you could do that, but I don't like part-time unless you set your expectations correctly. If you're going to do this part-time, it's going to be slow. It's going to be painful. Like, it's going to suck. And I would rather rip off the Band-Aid. But if you're the kind of person that you're open to it and you set your expectations like, okay, this is going to be slow. This is going to suck. I'm going to miss opportunities. I'm not going to go as quickly as other people, but I'm slow playing this so that in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, I'm a lot further along than I would have been if I didn't do anything. And I'm okay with that. Great. So it's all about expectations, Ben. If you're open to it, it's about expectations. It's the best I can say. I got to get over 100. So I'm right now at 51 and 40, 91 calls for the week. I got to get 10 more
So
calls.
leaving 60%
And we're going to be over
bonus
100.
depreciation, losing the other 40%. We're just taking it over a 5-year maker's schedule. If
Gotcha.
we take 40% bonus depreciation in 2025, the other 60% we're taking over a 5-year maker's schedule. So we're still getting everything. It's just over a slightly longer period of time. So bonus depreciation, in a way, the name is kind of a misnomer. We're not getting extra depreciation. We're just getting it faster.
Gotcha. And so
Mm.
no matter what, is it always going to be a 5-year depreciation after you take the bonus part?
For a Part 91 plane, 5-year makers is the accelerated schedule that we use for the remainder of the basis.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. But earlier this year, I
Who the
heard
heck
some
is
rumblings
Randy?
around the aviation world that we could potentially be coming back to. There was laws trying to get passed. I think passed the House, if I remember correctly, to try to bring back a higher bonus depreciation. Do you have any updates on that?
So that passed the House, but unfortunately was voted against by the Senate. So we're back to
Okay.
square one with bonus depreciation generally phasing down 20% each year unless there is new legislation after November, which some parties in our industry are hopeful that will get done after November, but we'll see. So as of now, the current schedule is we'll have 40% bonus depreciation in 2025, 60% for 2024, and then of course Section 179 is still an option as well. For
Gotcha. Okay, so I want to buy a plane to take a write-off. Now, part of what the article discussed was the idea that if I buy a plane before September 30th and put it into service before September 30th, there may be advantages as opposed to buying.
Howdy, my name is Tom with Jet Life Aero. Happy Friday.
Video, just on a whim.
I'm trying to see if Mark's available.
Talk to me, or maybe they're finding it, right now, and they're about to buy a plane, and we drop this on September 29th.
With Jet Life Aero, I was looking for Mark or Randy.
September 30th, and what happens after September 30th?
Yeah, the bottom line is if we place the
Yeah, for sure. Can you let them know that Tom with Jet Life Aero, AERO, called?
So we can actually write off
And
60% bonus.
sure, 941 241 2682.
The basis in 2024 versus we place the plane in service after September 30th.
And yeah, just have them give me a buzz at their convenience. Thank you very much.
Of the basis in 2024.
Have a good day. Bye.
So we lose about 6% if we place the plane in service after that date.
Okay, so that's an example of how not to do a cold call. Like that was lame sauce. And Tom, you're better than that. I wanted to have fun with it, but I didn't because I wussed out. Like because I'm too good to like just have fun with it. Like come on, Tom, get better. You gotta just get the words. Like have fun with it. Come on. Let's do this again.
If we place the plane in service in 2024, even if it's in December, we still get to take 60% bonus depreciation. We get that 62% total depreciation in 2024 with the remaining 38% basis to be depreciated over a 5-year.
So I got my brokers calling me. I'm texting them. I'm cold calling. Can you text? That's how we do. I want to know.
The deduction in 2025 will only have 40% bonus depreciation as of now. So not only do we have a 1-year delay in when we get to actually take the depreciation on the plane, we also have a lower bonus depreciation rate. So it's important for tax motivated buyers that have lots of taxable income.
Sorry.
2024 to get the process started with the aircraft search as soon as possible.
Sydney, Tom with Jet Life Aero. Good morning. Just reaching out regarding 75 Echo Mike. I know you get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. Want to see if you've been looking at possibly making a change in the fourth quarter here. Would love to send you a free evaluation. See if the Jets may be worth more than you think it is. If so, maybe give me 2 to 5 minutes of your time. Again, my name is Tom with Jet Life Aero. 941-241-2682. Nope. To 941-241-2682. Have a good day.
Close to what the math would roughly be.
Yeah, the napkin math would be if you have
$1,000
$1,000 of taxable income in your business. from the plane to offset that $600,000
Bill.
taxable income. And the tax savings would be
No answer,
whatever
no answer, no
marginal
answer.
tax
Okay.
rate is of that income.
Apparently, Bill doesn't answer the
multiplied by
phone.
deduction.
It's still going to
So
count as a call for me, though.
tax savings in that scenario. And that's what most of our clients are motivated to do. The fourth quarter of the year is our busiest time of year by far because our clients are very motivated to depreciate a plane this tax year before year end.
Now, if next year I buy $1 million jet and I have a $600,000 taxable income, I'm only going to be able to write off 40% of the million, or $400,000, to offset that 600. And again, we're not losing the rest of it, but just for that year, the max I can go against it would be the 40%.
40% plus the first year of 5-year makers. But yes, we'll have a smaller deduction
No answer.
in 2025 unless there's legislative change. So as you mentioned, there's nothing being lost as long as this taxpayer has substantial incomes going into the future. Then they'll still get to utilize that deduction in future years, but we don't get as much immediate benefit in 2025.
And here's the thing:
Well,
to make
that's
you
great.
know 50
So
calls
I'm gonna
today,
go ahead, I'm gonna
there are some
put
things I had to put
my
aside.
schedule to close
Like
on
I'm not
December
answering the phone.
31st, and I'm gonna take my
Sorry,
first
brokers.
flight on New
You gotta
Year's
text me.
Day. To take my family out to treat themselves for a brand new me, new jet 2025. Is there any problem with that, buying my jet on December 31st, but I don't fly it until the next day?
Optimally, we do need to close before year end in 2024. There's no doubt about that. And then optimally, we would have one or more business flights in 2024 to firmly place the plane in service for tax purposes. However, that's not an absolute requirement to place the plane in service. The requirement is that the plane has to be in a state of readiness and availability for its intended use. That actually is quite gray. There's a lot of nuance there. Definitely call me or my firm to discuss, and we can make sure that you have a good plan to place the plane in service prior to year end. But if we can, we like to have one or more business flights prior to year end. And it's important that that's a business flight too. If we have one entertainment
Good
flight,
afternoon. My name is Tom with Jet Life Aero, calling for Mr. Green.
2024 is zero. So we wouldn't be able to take a deduction.
Now, I think
Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. Can I leave a message with you or his voicemail?
so. What does it mean to qualify for the
My name-
for the depreciation? We need a binding
Yeah, Jet
contract
Life Aero, AERO.
31st.
And is this Josephine?
We need a deposit of either 10% or
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. And is Josephine his assistant, I guess?
Placing the aircraft in service by December 20, and that's kind of what we're talking about right now. And then
That's totally cool.
the
Totally cool. So
depreciation
Tom,
is
Jet Life
30%.
Aero,
So
regarding
so like I
you
guess
could tell him it's
maybe
regarding
instead of
228
throwing
Gulf
out
Sierra.
like buy by the 24th to qualify for
Yes.
depreciation in
Yep.
2025.
Gulf Sierra.
And then like taxes always talk about like
SIERRA.
2025 taxes are actually for the 2024 year. Like, can you just so I'm clear,
941
I was a little
241
confused on like the dates that
26882.
that your blog is talking
Nope,
about.
nope. I
So
did
that's
this again. 941 241 2682.
That relates to placing an order for a new plane.
That's correct. And hey, Michelle, I know it's Friday. Would you like to hear a dad joke?
We actually get a 1-year delay
Uh,
in the phase
I
down.
appreciate that. So I'm a pilot myself, and I flew with my wife a few weeks ago, and had a little bit of a rough landing. Winds were kind of wonky, and when we landed, and she's like, "Well, what was up with that? What was up with that landing?" I said, "Hon, it wasn't my fault. It was the asphalt."
Okay. Oh, this is for the delivery.
But
Is this another-
yeah,
wrong
yeah,
blog?
exactly.
That's another one.
I was on the wrong blog the whole
Good,
freaking time.
I'm glad.
Got it, dude.
Great. Well, I hope you have a great weekend, Michelle. And yeah, please pass that message along to Mr. Green, and he'll back from him.
Okay. Yes, 100%
Bye-bye.
2017. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So the biggest thing, I imagine it's similar to
Mm-mm.
you need a binding contract.
So I guess the
You know,
question
you
would
need to prove that you closed on the airplane, the aircraft, I assume, basically.
Yeah, of course, we do need to close on the plane. That needs to be done if we're wanting to take 68% in 2024. That needs to be September 30th or prior. After September 30th, it'd be about 62%. we need to close on the plane and place it in service. So that finding the deposit language more so applies to getting that 1 year delay in the phase tag. So used aircraft buyers, not as relevant.
Nobody got time for that.
All right, well, great. So I'm about to close. I'm about to offset my taxes for the end of
I
the
wonder.
year. But the conversation that this always comes back to for you and me is, what are the taxes
Check.
due at closing? Let's run through it again. So here's the best pitch when I'm talking to buyers.
All right, so my wife and I.
Taxes. I'm gonna do like step by step. Taxes are the responsibility of the seller. True or
I think
false?
I can use. I'm gonna see if I can use sound
Taxes are
effects
generally the responsibility of the buyer.
on a call.
Okay.
On
Oh,
ooh, Pakistan.
Come on.
The buyer, it can be a bit more.
Come on, focus
nuanced
time. Got to push through. We're almost there.
Generally speaking, sales tax.
Well,
Topeka, Kansas.
By the plane, and it is
so I buy
critically
the plane. I
important.
have to pay the tax to Florida and to whatever state.
Correct.
buyer.
Yep. The buyer would have that responsibility to the state where closing occurs if they don't meet an exemption, and their home state where they base the plane, where they may have a use
Right.
tax liability.
So that's okay. Okay. So premise number one is taxes are the responsibility of the buyer. So if nothing happens, whoever is owed taxes, they're going to come after the buyer.
Correct. And the exception to that rule is if we close in a state where the seller has a sales tax account, they may have an obligation to collect that sales tax.
Oh, that's where I got confused.
Unless
Is
presented
Fla-
with an exemption. Otherwise,
Florida-
there's responsibility.
Okay, is Florida?
Same time with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Just reaching out regarding 11 Charlie Romeo. I know you probably get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. Would love to give you a free valuation on Charlie Romeo. See if the plane is worth more than maybe you think it might be worth, and if it's a good move to make a change this year. Happy to help you. Give me a call at your convenience, 941-241-2682. Have a good day.
So usually it's, and that makes sense because usually it's the buyer that's asking to close somewhere else. The seller's just like, take my, I don't
Right.
care. So it's usually the buyer. Okay, that makes more sense. So the buyer's the one that's trying to get a tax-friendly place. Now we have these things called flyaway states. What is that?
A flyaway state is a state that has an exemption that essentially carves out a scenario where a buyer is buying a plane, but they're not going to base, hangar, utilize, register the plane in that state. They're just picking up the plane and leaving. So the state says, hey, you don't owe us sales tax in that scenario. Lots of states have that type of flyaway exemption, but there are some that don't. So it is a very important part of the tax planning process to select a tax-friendly state for closing. Fortunately, there's a lot of them. So if pre-buy is occurring in a state that is not tax-friendly for closing, they don't have a flyaway exemption.
Robert, Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon. Reaching out regarding 100 November. Victor, I'm sure you get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. And want to see you guys look make a move in this fourth quarter. I'd love to send you over free evaluation on what it might be worth in the current market, and if it's worth more than you think it might be, or it makes a lot of sense, then maybe we give me a couple minutes to explain a little bit more about what the market's doing and what we have to offer you. If that's something you're interested in, call me back at your convenience, 941-241-2682. Again, 941-241-2682. Have a great day.
Is the flyaway state necessarily a tax-friendly state, or it's just that you can get it out of there easily, but it doesn't necessarily mean it would be, because I imagine South Carolina has like some kind of special.
That's not what I meant. I meant to hit this one.
And
another one.
Boom, ba ba doo 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 doo, and another one.
There are states that are tax-friendly without being a flyaway state. The reason that South Carolina is tax-friendly for closing is not because it has a flyaway exemption, but rather that its sales tax is capped at $500. So obviously a de minimis amount when it comes to an aircraft transaction. So lots of aircraft acquisitions close in South Carolina for that reason.
Okay. So I'm a buyer. So it doesn't matter that the
All
plane's
right.
it matters that the plane's in Florida getting the pre-buy, because I can
And you just
leave
rest now. You
Florida
rest.
and close on it without having to. Well, Oh no, the point of the
for them to
flyaway
pick up.
exemption is because I
That you
can
turn it
close
on.
and go away, and Florida's not going to chase me. That's the point of the flyaway. I'm going to close here, and they're not going to chase me. But I might still be on the hook for wherever I
An answer because this
Like, I
number
might
doesn't
be,
answer. But this is it. It's where you
New
just
York.
kinda
Just guessing.
put your head down, you
Fly,
do it,
to New York and get
and
or
then when they
California,
pick
get
up,
smacked over the
like,
head with it
boom,
if I close there.
turn it on, baby. And you can only turn it on if you've practiced, and uh it's part. You've internalized what you're gonna say.
Okay.
Don't need to
You're
go
not always say it like you're just like boom, turn it on.
Both are friendlier than you would think.
Relax.
That are not friendly to close that don't have flyaway exemptions. That is an important piece to consider. And what matters is where we close, not necessarily where pre-buy is. So pre-buy can take place in Ohio, for example, which doesn't have a flyaway exemption. That's not an issue from a tax perspective as long as we can reposition the plane from Ohio post pre-buy, but pre-closing to another state that does have an exemption that we can meet.
Yep.
Or otherwise we're able to be exempt from sales tax. So, for example, pre-buys that happen in Ohio, it's very common for the plane to be repositioned to Indiana for closing because Indiana has a friendly flyaway exemption.
Right. Now I go to South Carolina, I go to Indiana, I pay my
Carolina,
tax on my sales
what's
tax on
going
the
on?
transaction. But now I need to worry about as the buyer where I'm
Hey,
going
Mike,
to
Tom with
use
Jet
the
Life
aircraft
Arrow.
that I
Good
purchased.
afternoon. Happy Friday. Just reaching out regarding a Delta Bravo. I know you probably get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. If you're looking to make a move in 23, I'd love to, in 24, sorry, I'd love to send you a free valuation on the Phenom. See what it's worth. If it's worth more than you think it is, give me 2 to 5 minutes to explain what the market's doing and what options you have in front of you. If that's of interest, call me back at 941-241-2682. Thank you.
When the plane comes back to Florida, even if we closed in Indiana, which was sales tax friendly, Florida would like to collect use tax
Yes,
on the plane
5.
unless we meet some sort of exemption. And that use tax is 6% plus a little bit of local. So if it's $1 million plane,
This has been on the market for.
So that's obviously a very important planning topic amongst our client base. And generally in most states, we do have use tax planning options to defer or be exempt from that liability. It varies widely from state to state. You absolutely, if you're an aircraft buyer, you should be like mine or similar.
Nicolaj. Any Brooklyn people here or anybody.
Prior to closing.
So one viewer. So
Is use tax one time, like after you buy it that one time, or is it every year?
The former. So it's a one-time tax. Use tax is kind of brother sister with sales tax. So
They're gonna get you.
It's that one-time tax. Sales tax is based on where closing occurs. Use tax is based on where the aircraft.
Hello, Nick. Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Just reaching out regarding 8 Tango Mike. I know you probably get these calls all the time. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm just hoping I'm catching you at the right time. If you're looking to make a move this fourth quarter, please allow me to give you a free valuation on where your Phenom might land in the marketplace and just provide you the information you need to make an informed decision on what to do next. If that's of interest, call me back at your convenience, 941-241-2682. Again, 941-241-2682. My name is Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Have a great day.
Here's your bill for $60,000.
Yeah, it varies from state to state when that liability is due, but generally it's pretty soon after the aircraft is brought back to the home state. However, lots of buyers, if they don't work with us or someone like us, is unaware of this liability. So as you mentioned, they get blindsided. They close on the plane. Let's just say they close on the plane in Montana, which famously does not have sales or use tax. And then they bring the plane back to their home state of, let's say, California in this hypothetical.
This one was Germany.
They closed on the plane in Montana, and then they get a letter from California saying, hey, we see that your plane's based in California. Why have you not paid us use tax on the purchase price of the plane, which in California is generally around 10%. They want $100,000. And if the buyer hasn't met a use tax exemption and is based in the plane in California, they're going to owe that liability. So
you can't prove that after they close.
Let's see.
After they close, if they happen to have met an exemption or are still within the window to meet the exemption, we can help them document that. So if you get that letter, do give us a call. And we can see what the options are at that point in time. But your options are going to be a lot more limited, and it's going to be trickier at that point at a minimum. First is the optimal path to proceed is get a plan in place before you close and understand what all your obligations are, what the options are to minimize or defer those obligations to the extent possible prior to closing.
Always learning something from you, KJ. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we had a chance to share, and definitely, check out aviationtaxconsultants.com. Not just, if you need to contact them for their services, but they do have an active blog. Any resources on here you want to call our attention to? I noticed you got some stuff going on over here. Look at all these exemption experts. Look at that. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to share on here?
No, feel free to browse, and as questions arise, always feel free to reach out via email or phone call as questions pop up. The easiest way to get answers is to give us a call, and we can talk about your specific facts and what we can potentially do to help. The other item that we did not discuss on this podcast is personal property tax, which is a separate tax from use tax. That's the annual liability. Some states impose personal property tax on
67 calls, 40 calls. All right, let's get 3 more.
Home state, Tom, they do not impose personal property tax on aircraft, which is wonderful. Other states, it can be fairly substantial. In the vicinity of 1%, 2%, even close to 2.5% of the value of the plane per year.
All right. Well, definitely give you guys a buzz for sure as people are preparing to buy, especially coming into this fourth quarter. So yeah, definitely check out Aviation Tax Consultants. And KJ, thank you once again so much for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again for having me on.
This aircraft is like got 5 brokers working it. That's kind of interesting. Where is this one? All right, 3 more calls, Tom. Let's go. What? Tom. Hey, Chris, Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Just going through the market again on the Phenom 100s. I know you guys are brokers yourselves, but just kind of curious. We've got Fox Zulu on our off-market list for something north of 3 million. Just wondering if you guys are still kind of in that phase where that's what you're looking for. If so, give me a buzz at your convenience. 941-241-2682. Have a good day. Just making sure that those were. Hey, Chris, Tom with Jet Life Arrow. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Just reaching out on Juliet Sierra. I know you probably get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. In the meantime, give me a call back if you're looking. I'd love to give you a free valuation on what it might be worth in the market, give you some information about what a next move could possibly be. If that grabs your attention, give me a call at convenience. 941-241-2682. Have a good day. Excuse me. Two more. Come on. Lean in. Lean in. On CTE. Oh, let me get you guys another video. On private aviation to help you
Whether you're a buyer or an aspiring broker, buy and sell private jets with no experience necessary. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of my latest deals, selling a Boeing 737-200, the biggest aircraft I've ever seen.
Hello, Irene. My name is Tom with Jet Life Aero. Happy Friday to you and Kenneth. Reaching out on 88 Bravo Charlie. And I probably get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. Wondering if you guys have been thinking about making a move with the Phenom in the fourth quarter. Would love to provide a free valuation, give you some information. Maybe it's worth more than you think it is. And you just have all the information you need to make an informed decision about what the next move could be for you guys. If that's of interest, give me a call at your convenience, 941-241-2682. Again, my name is Tom with Jet Life Aero, 941-241-2682. Have a good day.
Bringing the guest. Today we have the man, the myth, the legend, the original. He is the OG Jet Life Aero broker.
Omar.
Mr. Alex Strohmeyer, who is fresh off the airplane that he flew today.
Secretary hung up.
Getting ready for
Office
his
redirected.
flight. He's going to become a certified pilot. Alex,
Ooh,
thanks for
someone
being
got
here
a
today. I appreciate it, man.
direct number.
That's right.
Nice
Thank
game.
you. Thanks for having me. And I'm excited to talk about this deal, the 737-200 Advanced. Wow, it's a private jet. I would love to really the first thing get straight into, like, give me a brief history about, it's November 80 Echo Victor, correct? Give me a brief history, how did this aircraft come to be?
Yes.
Why did the owner buy this airplane? Why is he selling it? Or why did he
I
sell
haven't
it?
got her name.
Just a brief history of that.
Yeah, so let me pull it up for y'all so you can kind of see, exactly what we're talking about. So this is it. This is Echo Victor. It's a 1982 Boeing 737. This thing was a former airliner. It has 69,000 hours on it.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
And Tom with Jet Life Aero. When you get a chance, give me a buzz. Your convenience, 941-241-2682. I know you probably get these calls all the time. Not here to waste your time. Just hoping to catch you at the right time. I'd love to give you a free valuation, let you know what it's worth in today's market. And maybe it's worth more than you think it is. And at that point, you give me a couple minutes of your time to explain some options that you might have in front of you. Again, it's Tom with Jet Life Aero, 941-241-2682. Have a good day. Happy Friday.
It was absolutely beautiful. And you were inside
Boom.
it too, Alex. So, you remember.
Boom.
Yeah. No, it's
All right, so
really
this
nice.
brings me to Vaughn.
I mean, it's a little bit older
14
style, but
calls.
great quality materials. I don't really
Boom,
recommend
baby.
it unless you want it to look
And actually, Craig's even higher than that. So,
that's amazing.
all right, guys,
So,
thanks so
I'd like to
much
talk about
for your
the
time.
ballpark number of what an airplane like
Really
this
appreciate
would cost.
everybody, and we